Best evidence yet of an ocean beneath the surface of Saturn's mini-moon.
The moon looks a lot like the Death Star from Star Wars, thanks to one of the largest impact craters of any moon in the solar system. It's called Mimas. It has an icy exterior, and a French-led team analyzing changes in its orbit and rotation have concluded the frozen crust likely hides an ocean only 5 to 15 million years old. They based their findings on observations by NASA's Cassini spacecraft, which observed Saturn and its more than 140 moons for more than a decade before burning up in the ringed planet's atmosphere in 2017. I'm Ben Thomas.
NASA's newest climate satellite is blasted off to survey the world's oceans and atmosphere in unprecedented detail. SpaceX launched the PACE satellite before dawn today, took off from Cape Canaveral. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio. Yeah!
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday.
Yes.
Welcome to it.
Indeed.
Super Bowl, pre-Super Bowl Thursday.
Pre-Super Bowl Thursday. The excitement is building. The tension is mounting.
Yeah.
Former friends are now rivals.
That's right.
I was never a betting man, but we every single year, we always had one thing at the Super Bowl. My dad and I would bet on the opposing team, and the prize, the winner, received a 20-ounce Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
That was always our thing.
That was a
it was the bet for the Dr. Pepper. But I think as a result, I am now a terrible gambler. And I don't mean like I have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I'm bad at it.
You just pick bad bets.
I pick bad bets, or I don't know how machines work. So I'll play a machine, and then be like, nah, nothing. I'll move on, and then immediately some old B will come over and just put or pull the thing down once and just hit the jackpot.
Take your jackpot.
So it's like I'm really bad with gambling. So the takeaway from this, Mom, Dad, teach your children to gamble, but teach them well.
Let them lead the way.
That's right. Play a little Texas Hold'em with them, Get them started early.
Show them the beauty that they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride.
Show them some dude wearing a button-down T-shirt, untucked, sitting on a sidewalk, sad because he just left $3,000 in a Baccarat game.
Oh, man. Well, if nothing else, teach them not to go to that casino in Vegas Vacation that has guess the number.
Pick which hand. Which, okay, even as a kid, even when I watched that movie and I knew they were in a crap casino, in my mind I'm like, he can just change hands. He could just switch it out behind his back. They don't have to know.
Right.
That was my kid brain working.
Right. But I was like, I think I could take him in war.
In war. That's the one game I thought I had a chance.
Right.
Exactly. I feel you on that.
Wasn't Go Fish even in there too, I think?
I don't remember Go. I remember Guess Which
War
Hand.
Was. Guess Which Hand. And guess what number I'm thinking.
And the number. Yeah, guess which number.
4, 7, shoot.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah.
Yeah. So nothing else. Teach them that. Don't go there.
Yeah. So I just, that's why I don't. It's like, Thomas has talked about poker night and stuff. It's like, no, I'm not going to come over and give you my money because that's what's going to happen. I'm going to look like an idiot in front of all your friends, and I'm going to leave you with my money.
Yeah, but you also learn that way too to play.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I don't want to learn through debt.
Why?
Some of the most learned people out there lost their house.
And to be honest, you know where I kind of learned a lot of it, weirdly enough, is back about 20 years ago when it was a hot minute when everyone put celebrities playing poker on TV.
Oh, yeah.
And and they were all playing Texas Hold'em on TV. And it seemed like every channel had a celebrity Texas Hold'em.
There was quite a few.
Show.
Yeah, there's quite a few poker shows.
And so I watched a bunch of them, and I learned a lot about Texas Hold'em watching celebrities play Texas Hold'em.
I probably could have done that too, but that was like I watched some of it, like 20 minutes. It's the most boring thing to watch. I mean,
Weirdly
they're
enough,
kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, and weirdly enough, I was in for the conversations. I wanted to hear the tells, the whole. Because I was obsessed with, like, even watching, like, the ESPN at 11 o'clock at night and the Unabomber dudes, like, up there. I
with
like
the shiny glasses.
I like watching all that weird stuff.
But that's the thing. It's like, I don't think that I'm coordinated enough to carry on a conversation and not pull a tell, you know? Like, I don't think I'm that I can do this.
Right.
That's pretty much where my multitasking talent ends.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you could have a poker face and do your thing if you needed to.
Maybe.
You're a man of radio that has to
I'm a man who's worked away from cameras my whole life.
be a little chameleon-like. So I think you can do it. I think you can pull it off. But and now that being said, that's my knowledge is watching. So don't take my expert advice and throw it out the window because it's not expert advice.
I do have a bit of a tell though.
Yeah.
If I have a good hand, I go, "Wowie zowie! Look at those cards!"
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a tell.
I go. Oh man! Well, happy Thursday.
I was driving to work this morning, and I was at a stop sign at Country Club, and I don't know, Montana, I think. It's where that church is, and there's all those power lines. Mm-hmm. So all the power lines, and it's like on all four sides of the street, are like there's no space between the number of pigeons on these power lines.
Oh, is it stacked?
Yeah, it was. So I, just to feel cool for a second, it was a stop sign. There was no cars around or anything. I roll my window down, and I start flipping pigeons like in Training Day.
All right, Mike.
What are they doing? They're flipping pigeons, letting them know that we're here. I was just like, and they just. It's really cool. It's like bird fireworks. The kids loved it.
Well, that's my Denzel Washington moment for the day.
It was kind of like a peak. I'm like, well, ain't getting cooler than that.
Right. All downhill from here, kids.
Yeah, that's right.
Time to go to school. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl now. I think I kind of, I'm for the game.
Yeah.
I'll try. And that's just it. Sunday is probably arguably the least productive day of the year for probably most Americans. Because they're literally, the game don't come on till like 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Right.
But we literally start watching Super Bowl stuff at like 8 in the morning.
And that's the thing. There's nothing else on anywhere.
Yeah.
Like for the channel that's showing, and this is before streaming, kids.
Right.
When you used to have to like turn the channel on, it was always starting at like 8 or 9 o'clock. It was the history of the Super Bowl, and it would be like like Tom Landry, and it was always that dude's voice with it was like the it was a crisp September morning.
Yeah.
And then the one part of any of that I like the analysis, whatever. I love the little 30-minute best Super Bowl commercials of all time.
Yeah.
That's like the one time I'm willing to watch.
You know what? It's usually like, I bet tonight on TV. It always seems like Thursday before the Super Bowl. And I think, is CBS doing the Super Bowl this year? It's usually, I'm willing to bet. I haven't looked at a guide. I have no idea. But I'm going to guess tonight on CBS, there's an hour-long classic Super Bowl TV commercial show, and someone like Boomer Esiason's going to be hosting it.
It's always like, it's like Boomer Esiason and then like Daisy Fuentes.
Yeah. That's what it's going to be. And I bet it's on tonight.
Here's the thing. If you're in for the commercials,
yeah,
they're already pretty much all out.
Yeah, nowadays, you can see them all before. And now there's teasers.
I also,
I ain't going to lie. They've been teasing an Oreo Super Bowl thing for like a month now.
So you know what they're doing. I think I've talked to you about this.
I don't
they
really
put
know.
a new Oreo out. It's like blue and pink.
Yeah.
It's got cool space designs on it.
Oh, yeah,
But it's
yeah,
got
yeah.
popping candy in it. But they're running a contest where they're going to send somebody, and I guess a guest, in one of those parabolic arc planes to the edge of space.
Okay.
Like they said, you're not going to be able to experience weightlessness, but you'll get a great view and all that.
And then I've seen one other contest commercial
Okay.
for the Super Bowl, and it's DoorDash.
I did see that. That is insane what they're doing.
Yeah, they're going to give you one of everything that advertises during the Super Bowl.
Which I'm like, this is the one time I kind of wish they were going to be doing crypto ads.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
like-
you're going to see a lot of movies.
Yeah.
You're going to get a lot of beer.
The commercial I
A few
saw was
cars. You're going to get a few cars.
Yep. The commercial I saw was like, we don't know how this is going to work yet.
Yeah, that's I don't think we thought this through.
Yeah, that's like with the movies. Are you going to get to go to a screening
Yeah.
or
It does
the
scream
premiere?
a little like the Harrier jet from Pepsi a little
Right?
bit. It's starting to scream the Harrier jet a little bit here. If you no idea what I'm talking about there, I think it's still on Netflix. There's a documentary about Pepsi Points.
It's actually a docu-series called Where's My Jet?
And it's Pepsi Points. And when this guy actually accrued enough Pepsi points to earn the Harrier jet, and that's the story. And the guy's goal of getting enough points in his whole system to get the points to get the Harrier
The
jet.
one thing I'll say about that guy, I mean, any lesser men would have given up long before he did.
Yeah.
Long before.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just one of those people that I'm going to do this. And to the detriment of maybe other aspects of his life, he probably did this.
Spoiler alert, he's also a mountain climber, so I guess it makes sense, you know, the whole stick it out till the end thing.
Yeah. How do you make money climbing mountains and collecting Pepsi points? That's the part I don't get. How does this guy eat at the end? Does he have a sugar mama?
It never is explained. I'm sure he has like a job of some type.
Yeah.
You can get sponsored as being a climber, but I don't think that's how they do it. Most of those people pay like tens of thousands of dollars.
And then
to
my
do it.
second question is, to drink the copious amounts of Pepsi you need to drink to get a Harrier jet, are you in any kind of shape to be climbing a mountain?
I mean, maybe he was drinking Diet Pepsi.
Maybe he beat up the mountain.
Yeah. And this was before Pepsi Zero, so or Pepsi Max, excuse me. So yeah, that's a great question. I'm assuming that he's, you know, maybe has a series of small lawsuits constantly going.
Yeah, I mean, that's something. He's slipping and falling at all these places buying sodas.
He just goes around town looking for a wet floor sign.
I guess what I'm thinking. Pepsi and wet floor, jackpot.
Got it.
Oh, man. Well, let me give you the rundown for today's show. You're going to get a double dose of Crystal today.
Oh.
Crystal squared.
Dang. Too much crystal in the room.
That's right. You're going to get Robo Crystal and then Live Crystal. But you'll get Robo Crystal first. We're going to replay our interview. John and Crystal Noble from Roswell C joined us Monday, I believe, to chit-chat with us. We're going to play that this hour. Artist Greg Birch going to visit us next
cool.
hour. He's got a few paintings and a few things he's got on his radar he wants to share with folks.
I got something in the works with him, too.
Good deal. And then Live Crystal Noble will be with us in the 9 o'clock hour from the Humane Society.
So really, it's a Greg Birch sandwich.
It's right. It's a Greg Birch sandwich.
Nestled between two crystals.
Crystal loaves. So that's what we got going on today. Before we do any of that, let's take a gander at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look nice today. We have high pressure back over the area, sunshine, and pretty comfortable daytime highs in the low 60s and a little bit breezy. Low to mid 30s and clear for the overnight hours. We'll have a little bit more cloud cover on Friday, but some sunshine too, and we'll stay in the low 60s. Saturday looks sunny with upper 50s, and then we could get some showers on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 35 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 57%. Winds currently out of the southeast at 6 miles per hour. Sunny and 64 for today. Winds will be out of the southwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear, looking at an overnight low of 33 degrees. Southwest winds at around 10 miles per hour. For you Friday, mostly sunny, 61 for a high tomorrow. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 34 degrees. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For the weekend, Saturday, mostly sunny, 58 for a high. Southwest winds 5 to 10 in the morning, picking up 10 to 15 for Saturday afternoon. Saturday night, we're looking at a 30% chance of rain and snow showers after 11 p.m., mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 33 degrees. So we're right on that bubble, just above freezing. So probably more of the rain variety. Sunday, we're looking at a 20% chance of rain and snow showers before 11 a.m., then it just being all rain after 11. Partly cloudy for you both Sunday with a high of only 46. So outdoor activities, might want to get the chimereas or a little fire going or take it all indoors there. Sunday night, mostly clear, overnight low of 24. And then Monday, when you head back to work and school, sunny skies, 57 for a high there. All right, it is 7:19. We're going to take a 3-minute break. Then we're going to play our interview with John and Crystal Noble talking Roswell Seed. Don't go away.
Foot and ankle problems are often agonizing, but they don't have to be. At Artesia General Hospital, we're passionate about helping every patient return to optimal mobility with confidence and comfort. Our board-certified podiatrists, Dr. Jennifer Chow and Dr. Michael Krupa, provide a full spectrum of services ranging from routine foot care and pain relief to customized treatment plans and leading-edge surgeries. Visit artesiageneral.com/foot care to request your appointment today.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Can't hear as well as you used to? That can happen to the best of us. But when you can't hear people speaking or birds chirping, it's time to take action. That's when it's time to call Howard Allman with Here on Earth Hearing Care Center. Howard has been helping people hear better for over 55 years. Howard is who helps the Artesia seniors with servicing their hearing aids of all makes with free cleaning and hearing evaluations. And he's ready to help you. Howard can share with you information on Audibel Intrigue AI hearing aids with many features you might not expect a hearing aid can do, such as using your hearing aids to stream calls, music, and more. Plus, health monitoring, count steps, even fall detection, all built in. Meet face-to-face with someone who can help you choose the right hearing aid for you. Call Howard at 575-622-0375, and he'll be glad to set up a time to meet with you. That's 575-622-0375 for Howard Allman of Here on Earth Hearing Care Center.
The Calico Cow has moved to a new home. Visit the Calico Cow at their new home, 200 East College, behind Farley's in Roswell. Lots of exciting changes at the new Calico Cow. New LED lighting, an amazing large classroom, plus more space, which means lots of new items and an even bigger selection of fabrics. Come see it for yourself. Want to know how? Come see the cow. The Calico Cow's new home at 200 East College in Roswell.
Love is in the air, and Love Bud Floral has everything you need to make this Valentine's Day extra special with a great selection of flowers in stunningly beautiful colors, perfect for the Valentine in your life, or should we say Valentines in your life. Tulips and hydrangeas in yellow, pink, and white for mom, and of course a beautiful selection of colorful roses for your sweetheart. Order in person or online at lovebudflowers.com or call 575-748-1010. Happy Valentine's Day from Love Bud Floral, 1010 West Main, Artesia.
If you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, potato, and an onion, unless you open your eyes. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us in studio this morning. And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, today wearing their Roswell Seed hats, John and Crystal Noble. Back with us. Good morning, John.
Morning. How's
He's
it going?
already annoying Crystal. It's not even started the interview yet.
Hey, it's her fault. She gave me, what'd you give me?
Vanilla latte.
He's hyped up on the caffeine
Vanilla
and sugar.
latte. Yeah, cracking a cup.
It
vanilla
doesn't
latte.
have any caffeine in it. It's just sugar.
It doesn't. Yeah, just sugar.
Well, it's got a placebo effect.
Apparently, yes.
Well, are you feeling better? Last time we had to reschedule because you were getting the crud that everybody else
man,
had.
I got laid out. Normally, I'm only sick for like 24 hours.
Yeah.
But now that I'm
Older?
Seasoning.
Yes.
Sucks
when you sneeze and season like that.
Yeah, it takes a little bit longer now, so.
Everybody was sick at Roswell.
Yeah, we actually.
Yeah, I remember she was telling me like the entire staff got sick.
For the first time, and that we know of in 126 years, we had to close the store due to illness.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was like through all kind. I mean,
I'm sure that took almost an act of Congress for that to happen. But,
no, actually, Mom came in and looked at me and said a few choice words. You look like, and I'm like, yeah, well, I feel like.
Right.
And she was just all like, why are you here? And I'm like, well, who else? No, nobody else is here. Everybody else is gone. It was just me.
Well, and that's the thing, too, is a lot of your employees and things are probably of that age that we just come in sick.
Yeah.
We lived in a world where they don't tell you to stay home sick. Unless your arm's falling off, you better get your butt in the work.
If you're not bleeding or, something.
Yeah. And so, and now that's not the mindset anymore. You go to work and people look at you instead of like, oh, you're going to get everybody sick. Go home.
Quarantine, and stuff.
Which I'm fine with as long as this is what we're really doing. Don't tell me to go home and then punish me later because I did go home.
Well, I look at it this way. I mean, I can be miserable at work or I can be miserable at home.
Yeah.
I'd just be miserable at work.
I can make others miserable too.
Yeah. At home, I get, here, you need to take this. What's this? Don't worry about it. Just take it.
Just put it in you.
I figure, you know what? If I ever die of mysterious causes, it's, Yeah, here, take this.
But my wife does that to me, but I need it. Like, I will not do things like that on my own unless
he won't
she
either.
physically tells me to do it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He will not either. Tell him, did you take your medicine that I left on the counter?
Yeah, I'm just as bad. She's just to take it, and I normally I'm like I will or I did, but I would not had she not say, did you take your meds? Did you? I'm 7 when it comes to that kind of stuff. You got to teach me everything.
He's like 4.
Yeah. I think it's just dudes in general. That's why we need wives, because we need to be handled.
You needed a handler.
We need to a point, but we don't like to be completely micromanaged, just to a point. And then at some point, you got to let us stomp and say, I'm a man, I got to do it.
That's right.
And then we do it and screw it up and you fix it. But you got to let us do it every once in a while just because of the man thing.
Or the whole, if you would have listened to me, that wouldn't have happened scenario.
Yeah. We're going to blow right
that's only happened like a couple of times.
Anyway.
She remembers every single one.
Oh, yeah, every one of them. But on the other hand, he does something, and I'm like, I told you that wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
No, we're not allowed to talk about that one.
Let it go.
You don't do anything wrong.
Right.
And that's marriage. Yeah. You got it.
Yeah. I mean, point in case, she wanted to put, she wanted the rustic look. So we had these old feed troughs that we had. And she's, I'm going to plant. And I told her, no, don't do it. Galvanized steel, it's going to heat the soil up too much. It's going to burn the plant. Well, I know. I was like, hey, you know what? Knock yourself out. You go mix the dirt. You go do everything. You plant them. Okay, I will. 3 weeks. Just twigs. Burned up.
I think they were in a
I
bad
didn't know.
location.
I only work in the industry. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, you might want to default to her on the dogs and cats and you on the plants.
Yeah, and I do.
But I've planted stuff in galvanized steel pots before, just not that big.
I have no idea. I'm dumb in this department.
Yeah, so I mean, the galvanized steel, it's a cool looking rustic type deal, but the galvanized holds heat.
Chemistry.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Make things hotter does not work. Unless you plan on cooking an egg out on the soil, go for it.
A lot of times you see them, they're wood planters or ceramic.
Right. Not a whole that kind of like repels the heat.
Well, it's porous.
Yeah.
Ceramic and wood, they're both are porous materials, breathing. They can breathe and stuff. Or metal, not so much.
And like the people now that they're planting everything in like the lick tubs, and stuff. That's a cool idea as long as they can keep it within, a shady area.
Right.
Because if not, that plastic's going to heat up. It doesn't transfer heat as much as the metal does.
Does it late? So like in the winter, if you put it in there, would be better. But
no.
Okay. No. I'm just curious. Maybe it'd be better in the winter.
When metal gets cold, it gets cold.
Yeah. I didn't know if it.
So I mean, I tell that everybody wants that that rustic look, and it's like okay, rustic look. Okay, and I tell them, go down, get you a couple of bales of straw, put some straw around it. Make it look rustic, but you're giving it insulation as well.
Sure.
If you only have like 4 inches of the metal exposed, that's going to do very much damage, if any at all. But when you have that whole thing exposed, of course, it was in direct sunlight most of the day.
It's like a pot of water. It's going to boil eventually.
Yeah, eventually, yeah. But no, don't listen to me.
But we learn the hard way sometimes. How did you learn it? Did you boil something in a pot too one day and learn that you should do it?
No. I had the inside edge. I had customers.
You let them burn it up.
Come in and tell, hey, don't do that. That didn't work for the crap.
But getting back, that's actually the beauty of Roswell Seed.
Yeah.
This is what we get back to every time. When you have a business that's been around 120 or whatever, what's the number now? 100.
This year's 126.
126.
Yeah.
After 126 years of knowledge of the region and what works and the industry in which you're in, yes, it's evolving and changing because technology and science and stuff gets involved. However, it doesn't. At the end of the day, 1 + 1 = 2.
That's it.
And the things that you guys have been doing with the soil here and the dirt for 126 years, after a while, you tend to learn a thing or two over generations of people messing with the dirt and the soil, and they know what works and what doesn't, and they've got it down to what part of town. If you're on the north end of town, how you treat your soil is going to be different than how you live on the south end of town.
Yes.
Because the makeup of your dirt is completely different. Think of it as a patch full of ingredients. That dirt is full of ingredients, and there's different ingredients in the dirt in the south end versus the north end and downtown, and it will negatively and positively impact what you're growing, depending on what you're growing and how it is, and so you need to do things to either enhance or counteract whatever's going on in your dirt, and that's where the Roswell Seed people are experts. You can go down to the big box store, and everything's going to be done to what general standard. All right, this is kind of what works for everybody here. Roswell Seed's like, where do you live? What's going on?
Yeah.
Okay, your dirt's going to be more this way. You're going to need fertilizers and things that react this way. Where you're going to need and that's where Roswell Seed's different than any other place where you get the same kind of things that Roswell Seed sells. Is that 126 years of people working this dirt, reporting back, hey, you shouldn't do those in a big metal pot.
Don't try that.
It's literally 126 years of that.
Well, and then people don't realize too, when you were saying like sections of town, back in the day, grass was a luxury. So only rich people had lawns.
We do live in a desert.
Yeah. And
the day.
People also have to realize back in the day, we didn't have EPA. Most of the time, if you had an automobile, you didn't take it to a shop. You changed the oil. What happened? You just pop the oil drain open, let it drain out on the ground, covered up with dirt.
Yeah.
We got people on the south end of town that, I don't even have weeds growing. You got bad dirt. I can pretty much guarantee you exactly what had happened.
Yeah.
And there we go. How do we know that? Well, we were talking to people, and these old timers are like, oh yeah, when I lived out on such and such and such and such, we just popped the drain plug on a tractor and just let the oil drain out on the ground, fill it up, and then you going. And it's like, well, what do you do? What about the ground? It's like, well, we never thought anybody would ever, build a house on it.
Yeah,
type of deal.
And we probably didn't know the impact of what that oil had on the soil. Now, years later, studying, they're like, oh, that's a huge bad idea.
Yeah,
we shouldn't be doing that.
Well, it's like, well, it comes out from the ground. Yeah, but it's not processed.
Right.
It's
a little different.
So, they process it, put it back on top of the ground, kills things.
So does corn, but you don't plant cornbread when you're done.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way.
I mean, yeah, we do. I mean, it's all the time. Everybody always, some people think, I'm like trying to find out, well, why do you want to know where I live? Well, it's not like I'm going to come sell you like Estee Lauder or anything, I need to know.
Yeah, we're not Kirby vacuum cleaners.
Yeah, I want to know the section where you're at, what's going on and
what
stuff.
What kind of dirt your house is sitting on, so we know how to deal with it.
And like, it's funny when we get people that come in. We have old pictures up in the shop and the store from back in 1911. Earlier than that, because it shows the old cattle drives going right through Main Street.
Oh, cool.
And stuff like that in there. And when our store was built in 1911, the company opened up in 1898, but they were farther north.
Okay.
Which is because when they talk about we were farther north, we were actually only like a block or 2 blocks away from where we are right now, but that was north,
right? But the town was smaller.
Yeah, it was way smaller,
a lot smaller then. Yeah.
And when our store was built, that was the farthest thing south, commercial.
You're out in the sticks.
We were out. That's what they told them. You'll never make it. It'll never make it. You're too far south.
Yeah.
And look at what's south of us now.
126 years
126 years. I mean, and there's stuff way farther south than us.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, okay, you know.
Oh, yeah, well.
Still kind of out in the sticks. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Out the sticks in the heart of downtown Roswell.
Yeah. we're like not even in the happy zone.
You're in the Main Street corridor still. I mean,
kind of, yeah, but Main Street kind of stops at like 4th Street.
But technically, you guys are still in the corridor.
We're still in the corridor, but nobody ever comes out that far.
Yeah, there's
south.
a lot less festivals and together. You know, it's usually a couple blocks north of you guys.
It's between 1st and 2nd Street.
But you'll be treated down there because then you go down there and then head on over to kind of back to because there's kind of more eating and shopping behind you guys, but it's not kind of in the main part of the Main Street
there's
district
Thai and then where's our favorite place? El Toro Bravo.
Yeah.
That's our favorite place to go.
Kind of where you can walk there if you need.
Yeah, that's just caddy corner.
Yeah.
So, you go get there and get all filled up, and then you get your exercise. Yeah. Running across 4 lanes of highway.
You kind of got the beauty of both worlds, where you're close enough in the Main Street corridor, but you don't get all the traffic and hustle and bustle that some of the parts of the Main Street get.
Yeah, we don't. No, thankfully.
But fortunately, that's not a problem for you guys because you're a business that's been around 126 years, and you're a destination business. You guys aren't really an impulse buy place. Like
you're coming to us for a reason.
Yeah, people have an issue, or they want to do something, and they've got a project, and they come see you. They don't walk by on a whim and say, "Grow a tree today."
Yeah. Wonder what kind of crap they got I could throw down on the ground. Multiple.
Yeah. So I think that it serves you guys well, but that's what I'm saying, and of course we're getting into that time of year where it's going to get warmer sooner, and you're starting to prep and get ready for planting.
So we're
grass and
already like in spring. Like we're not going to have
the weather's
a winter.
Kind of a little goofy. So.
Yeah, we're not going to have a winter. If we have one more cold snap, like real good cold snap, that's going to be a surprise. But I think we're going to have a very, very early spring and an extremely hot summer.
So is that going to turn the timetable up for people doing what they need to do?
It will. It will.
Like push it up. Like we're talking like weeks, a month. What are we talking?
Weeks at least.
Weeks.
Yeah. I mean, unless something happens within about 3 weeks.
It is New Mexico. Hold a beer is stated.
Yeah, but for the north part, us Southerns down here, it's like desert.
Yeah. You guys haven't gotten the moisture on the south end this year, have you?
No.
And it's usually the opposite.
Yeah.
Usually the south end gets more rain than the north end.
Yeah.
Because it all comes at once, usually. But
yeah, it does. Because, I mean, we got people already coming in. I got weeds coming up. It's like, yep. Yeah. And
we've had weeds all year round at the Humane Society.
I'm about to say, I don't think we never lost weeds.
No, nothing really.
So, like, we did not have a winter.
Which means you need to manipulate and get that stuff down because dead weeds or dry weeds in a desert that's fire issues.
Oh, easily.
It's also receding as they're blowing down the road.
It's really it's bad to not keep that stuff. And this is the time of year when it's easy to pull and easy before the roots get strong again.
Yeah, it rakes out of the ground real easy now. But and that also is going to bring up the fact of insects are going to come out way early, as well. So, I mean, we're kind of telling people, you guys are doing the garden, start prepping now. Because before you know it, it's, we're there, type of thing. Generally, we kind of tell people, don't put anything in the ground until about after around April 15th.
Okay.
Because we always get a freak frost in April. But being that Easter is so early this year, that freeze is going to come earlier, we're thinking. We've read the almanac. Good luck. I always kind of tell people that, farmers and lawyers got together and got drunk and came up with this book, because some of the stuff on it, you're kind of looking at it going, no.
Right.
But some of the stuff actually, I will attest to,
sure.
It's real.
Well, it's
for the early birds, like if they're already starting their starts inside their house, they're probably going to be able to transplant them into a bigger insert. So that way they can be the 8 to 12 inch before going into the ground.
Okay.
They can start doing that now.
Okay.
Because we're going to have...
But don't put it in the ground until April 15th. Gotcha.
Yeah, or it's going to probably be a little bit
coming
earlier.
Today-ish or tomorrow.
Yes, everybody that's been calling and asking about onions, they're supposed to arrive today.
Okay.
If it happens, maybe tomorrow. But they are in this week.
All right.
I mean,
check back if you want the onions.
Yeah, I have one little old man. He's been calling me every day. Hey, hi. Are they here? They're not here yet. Okay, I'll call you tomorrow. Yes, sir. So no problem.
For whatever reason, Valentine's Day and onions come together.
Okay.
So plant your onions.
And they're a great starter if you're starting your own vegetable garden.
Yeah.
It's a great one to start with. Things like garlic and onion and root vegetables like that, because they're so versatile foods that you're going to use in a lot of different things. And plus, they're a little more forgiving to grow than some of your other things. So if you're trying to learn on the fly, those are probably a little bit better to learn on. No, not necessarily.
They're not as forgiving as you would think.
Okay.
I've only successfully done onions twice.
Really?
Okay. Well, you're not everybody else.
I know. I'm saying, even if you do step by step, the simplest things can still go wrong.
Gotcha.
So always expect to not have such a great turnout, even if you've done everything perfectly, step by step, followed instructions.
Okay, you know what? That was you and the bread and the donuts. Sometimes it doesn't work. You can't be bringing that analogy into gardening and stuff just because you did step by step in the She made donuts the other day. Yesterday. Yeah.
Yesterday.
And they came out.
Well, even bad donut's a good donut.
Oh, yeah. They were still a little doughy.
It's like bad pizza's still pizza. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But, yeah, you went step by step.
So what I'm saying is onions are very hardyful, but sometimes they don't grow very well. They can be.
Or they don't grow to the...
I've never been able to get garlic to grow, but I've only tried it 5 or 6 times. But garlic hasn't been a good grower for me.
No, just haven't. But they're so versatile. That's what's.
I don't have the green garlic thumb.
I bet you I can get it.
Because if I was, to get a vegetable garden, you kind of. I mean, obviously you grow things you want to eat yourself.
Right.
Why would you do that? But I always like to pick things that you can use in multiple things. Like garlic, you put in almost everything.
Garlic goes in everything.
And everybody that wants to grow squash, limit yourself, because squash will take off and go.
And that's just it. Everyone, and to be honest, of all the vegetables that most people give away because they just have too many
squash
or zucchini or something in that family.
Okra, zucchini.
I'm not a squash eater, but
now that being said, I'll take a good hunk of your squash because I do love squash.
Really? Oh,
my wife will cook it. I'll eat it fried, or she'll cook it with a boiled theme with sugar.
Yeah,
it's a limper, softer, but sweet, and I'll tear that stuff up, man.
See, when I do squash, I do it on the grill.
Okay, I'm doing it that way too. I'll eat it in any form. But she showed it to me in a way where it's literally with sugar and water, and you boil it in the pot.
Really?
And it comes out mushy and soft, but it's sweet and I don't know, man. I just shovel piles of it in my mouth. It's pretty good.
What?
I'm not a squash or zucchini person, so when they tell you, "Oh, make zucchini spaghetti,"
yeah, I have.
I'll
had
just
that.
take my noodles.
I have not.
Where they take the
they bake the zucchini.
Does it taste like a noodle?
Kind of, yeah. It's got a little bit of an earthier tone to it, but it's actually
like if you
complements
put, sauce
everything.
And made it like
they make it just like spaghetti.
And
it's called spaghetti squash.
Is it really healthier? I guess it's less carbs.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, look at me. I mean, it's like
it's
not
less
like
gluten.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I imagine the gluten and carbs because it's not wheat based. So.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, we get people. They come in all the time. Hey, have you tried this? Does it look like I've tried that? It's kind of like, come on.
No. I've tried the triple cheeseburger.
Yeah. It's like right now. I mean, right now we got chickens coming in.
February 19th.
Yeah, that's when the chickens are coming.
Okay.
The first batch.
So
do they come as chicks or eggs?
No, they're all pullets.
How do they come?
Yeah, they're all chicks. They're all pullets. They were born about 2 days prior to. Well, actually, it's the day before.
Okay.
They were born the day before shipping. So when we get them, they're very, very small.
They're new to the earth.
Pullets, for people who don't know, that means they're rooster free. They're all females.
Okay.
Up to we're not doing it. It's coming from the hatchery. We order pullets. Sometimes, you do get a rooster. Sorry. But when you go to the big box stores that have all these baby chicks and those are what they refer to as a straight run. So basically a straight run, they just kind of take their arm and push all those chickens into a box. They don't sex them. And if you ever seen chicken sexting before, it's not an easy
TV
thing.
ones.
Yeah, I saw it on Mike Rowe where they squeeze it. So
dirty jobs.
Dirty jobs. Yeah. So I mean, you guys, you need to really kind of watch out for that. Yeah, they might be 75 cents a bird, but yeah, you don't know what you're getting. There is a way to test it on the feathers.
It can be a crapshoot.
Yeah, basically. I mean, we've had people come in,
So really, is it numbers are the key there? You just buy a lot to hope to get several.
With chickens, to make them thrive, baby chicks, you have to have a group of them, 6, no less than 6.
Okay.
Because they have to huddle with each other for the body heat, even though you have the heat lamp and stuff. But they don't thrive in small quantities, so you can't just buy 1 or 2 baby chicks.
You definitely can't buy 1. You have to at least get 2.
Okay.
Because 1, it doesn't know what to do. Basically, 2 can kind of figure it out. 3 will figure it out. 4 will figure it out, plus some, and stuff like that.
You still need a rooster in the hen house, don't you?
No. For them to lay eggs, no.
Common misconception. Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta have
you
a rooster.
only need the rooster to
make more babies.
Make more chickens.
Yeah.
There you go.
Roger.
Yeah.
Got it.
And people don't realize, like, when we can get roosters, or we get baby chicks, we get geese.
Baby turkeys?
Yeah, we don't do, we do guineas. We don't do quail anymore. We get turkey and stuff like that. We used to, but the quail were so fragile coming through the mail service. Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they're tiny.
And half of them or 3/4 of them would be dead by the time we get them.
I'm sure they probably break a neck.
Yeah.
Or something.
So,
but if you want like the specialty ones, they are a specialty order.
Yeah.
So that's not something that they have on hand regular.
Advance order.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come by, talk,
and we use, like, if you're coming, like let's say you want some geese, and we'll order you geese. We use baby chickens that we put in with the geese, because the baby chickens will teach the geese how to drink water.
Nice.
Yeah, learned that 100 and something years ago.
120 years of experience paid off there.
Yeah, and there's a lot more people that. In town now you can have chickens. I think it's 6. No roosters.
Yeah, the city ordinance allows you to have it and everything else.
Is it 5?
Yeah.
I thought it was 6.
It's 5 chickens, no roosters.
Oh,
yeah. So you're like that because they're the ones that make all the noise.
Well, I mean, a hen will do the same thing.
Yeah.
They'll actually be a macho hen.
Don't tell your neighbor that.
Yeah. Got an
other
alarm.
hens, they're fine.
Yeah, got an alarm clock. If we had one, it would crow at like 3 a.m. It wouldn't even wait till sunup. Because we can't have a normal animal at our house.
Right.
There will not be any chickens at our house.
Yeah.
More roosters.
But I mean, those are coming in. The big majority of the orders and stuff, I am getting that in February. So everybody, soils, fertilizer, everything that we're low on, that'll be coming in. We should be hopefully pretty covered by the middle of February. Some people were coming in, they were asking about various seeds. We germinate all of our seeds in-house. It's just something that has always been done.
Sure.
Any numbers that we don't agree, or that Dad doesn't agree with, we send off to get state tested. Those have all been sent off. We're just waiting on replies back.
Results and everything.
Yeah. It's kind of funny when you look at different things, the industry standards. Industry standards for like seeds are extremely low. Pepper seeds like 55%. If 55% germinate, you can sell it. It's no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't believe in that.
Right.
Pretty much Dad is on that.
You guys have always been above the standard.
Yeah, 82. Dad doesn't like anything below an 82. Depending on what it is. It's gone.
Sure.
And so I'm waiting on, so people that have been coming in, hey, yeah, okay, well, most of all that seed has come in now, the new seed. I just went on ahead and ordered it, and if we get a good germ back on it, then congratulations, we got more seed. But most of all that seed has come in, and the rest of it is coming in. It should be in, I'm hoping, this week. So everybody's garden seed-wise should be very well much and taken care of.
Good deal.
Flower seed, everybody that's been coming in for the flower seed, we were out of a lot of flower seed. That should be coming in this week as well.
Okay.
So that all should be covered.
Playing a little catch up on the flower side.
Big time. But trying to find flower seed,
you guys are still dealing with the post-COVID supply and demand. I mean, it's not nearly like it used to be, but it's not as good as it was pre-pandemic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's getting, but there's been, if you're not paying attention to weather and stuff like that that's going on around, we've had a lot of crop failures where we get a lot of receipts.
Yeah. The weather of the world's been faced.
And we got our onions in a little bit early only because our distributor that we get our onions from, he called us and was all like, "Hey, we're going to be snowed in next week. You want these now?" And we're like, "Yeah," because we don't know when you're going to dig yourself out to be able to send us, so they're coming in just a little bit early, and that's the reason why is they're excited to get hammered with snow, and it's like, yeah, we'll take them,
Well,
so
the way our weather's going, it might behoove you to get a little bit.
Right.
Too, so, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody asks the same thing, and
there.
it's, I can give you temperatures. It's Mother Nature, people that want to plant their grasses and lawn seed, fescue and rye, do it now. Bermuda, you got to wait till summertime.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's a warmer weather grass.
Get your ground all prepped right now for the grasses.
Because the work you do now in that department will make it so much easier when it's time for planting and growing. And when you do start to the time to plant and grow, you'll see much better results if you prep the area. But it's no different than anything else.
Yeah.
When you do a project or something, if you do your prep work first, usually the project goes a lot easier. No different with gardening or planting. It's the same thing.
Exactly. And we tell people, because they'll come at, well, your guys' grass seed is kind of expensive. Yes, it is, but it's 100% pure. So I always kind of tell everybody, if you're not going to do the hard groundwork or anything, then go to the big box store and pick up that lawn food.
It's like putting putting $10,000 rims on a $200 car.
Exactly, more or less. Yeah. We pay extra because if you look on a bag of, like, let's say lawn seed, there's a word on it's going to say noxious, and it doesn't fill out right. It's supposed to say noxious weed. There'll be a percentage. That percentage is of how much weed there is per pound of that seed. So if you're buying a 40-pound bag of grass seed for $5.95, and that noxious weed count is at a 32%, there's 32% of a pound of that is weeds.
Yeah.
Ours, we pay extra for because it goes through an extensive cleaning process. There's zero. So that's why we always tell people, do the groundwork, get it done, till level before you do anything.
Because this seed has been filtered to avoid as much weed issues as possible.
Well, and it's funny because I had this gentleman who came in, of course, he'd read a lot on the internet. Yeah. And how do you know? We have seed cleaning machines.
Yeah, you guys do it yourself.
Yeah, we have seed cleaning machines.
You're not a place where people go and buy bags of seed that came from somewhere else.
Yeah.
The stuff you guys it's germinated, it's raised, grown, it's all done in the Roswell Seed Company. It's all your own product.
And what's hilarious is I talked to Dad about, back in the day. And like you said, back in the day, these guys would go and they would go to various places and they would buy what we refer to as the tailings or the screenings. That's the stuff that gets kicked out while the seed cleaning process is going on. So it's not bad seed, but it's not maybe the right thickness or the right size or something like that. These guys would go and buy that and then bring it to us and have us re-clean it. And then we would get clean seed out of that, and then that's what they would sell.
Nice. Okay.
And it's been double cleaned so it's the same aspect on when you see that, well, whoa, I just found this fescue seed for half of what you guys sell it. Yeah, look at the noxious. They have to put the noxious weed count on there.
Yeah.
And stuff. And so that's where you look at. You're going to be saving money, yes. But like I explained to people,
you're not going to be saving money because you're going to be buying all the weed sprays and
you're
weed
going to be spending your money on the back end on the other products, combating with the stuff because of a lesser quality.
Yeah, I'm either going to sell you the seed or I'm going to sell you the spray.
Yeah,
make your choice. Don't buy.
Seed's a lot cheaper than the sprays are.
It's no different than everything else in life. You get what you pay for, and it's you look at liquor and beer. There's whiskey's not just whiskey. There's your top shelf and your bottom shelf whiskey, and it's based on how it's produced and it's no different here with the seeds. They've got top shelf seed is what they got. It's been filtered. It's not having all the crap and particulates that the government says can be there to a certain percentage. They're like, no, we're going one above that.
Right.
And that. So yeah, it might be a little bit more, but it's going to be it's going to, if you do your part right, it's going to work better than whatever other bag of cheap stuff you bought at a big box store. I guarantee it. If you do your homework, do your thing. Now, if you do what you do and just dump it on the ground and throw some water on and walk away, then you're probably not going to find so much success there. But if you do your homework and constantly work with it and keep watering and weeding and doing, the tending of this, you're going to have a beautiful lawn at the end of the day. If you do your homework, just like anything else.
Oh yeah,
nice lawns don't happen by themselves.
I love
have to put the work in.
I love it when the people come in and it's like, does my neighbor shop here? And it's all like, I don't know who your neighbor is. Well, they live on such and such and such and such. I still don't know who your neighbor is. Well, their lawn is blah blah blah, and it's really not. Okay, 50-50 chance. I don't know.
Just say yes.
Yeah, it's like how can I beat them? Okay, this is what do you got?
Neighbors? Yes, I am.
And then it
take
starts
pictures of their lawn so that way we know how you can beat them.
Maybe you ought to give away signs. This is a Roswell
seed lawn.
And you can just put them on the front yard.
Yes.
But it's hilarious when they come in and they say that, and then it starts. Well, what side of town do you live on? This is okay. Okay, now what kind of grass do you got? I don't. Does it go dormant in the wintertime? Or does it stay green? No, it goes brown in the winter. Okay, so you got a Bermuda. Okay, yeah, but I need to take care. No, you can't do anything right now. And they look at you like, I just came in here for help. I want to do something. It's like, look, you're going to be wasting your money.
Right.
I'm telling you right now. Wait till this time, and then this is when you start doing this.
There's a time and a place when some of these things
can't I do this now? Yeah, you can if you want, but you're just going to be, people right now, well, I got fescue and Bermuda lawn, mixed lawn. Okay, well, my fescue, you want to fertilize it now? Go ahead.
Right.
I can't, I could sit here and tell you, this is the parameters you play within the boundaries.
You got cake batter and you stick it in a broken oven.
Yeah.
It's not going to bake that cake no matter how hard you want it to. Till the oven gets fixed.
Yeah.
That's how it works. No different here. You can fertilize it, but if the temperatures aren't right, it's not going to do what it's got to do. It's just going to sit there and die.
Well, basically, yeah.
So
I didn't do it.
No.
Okay, I might have.
We got to go.
Why?
Time.
The time.
Oh, no, I'm not going.
Yes, you are.
Yes, no, I got work to do.
Yes, you are. You're going.
But let's wrap this up here.
Yes.
So right now, real quick, coming in,
onions are coming in. We will have all the other seeds that we were missing or
check
low
back on the flowers. They're coming in slowly but surely. As
they'll be here.
Getting ready.
Chicks will be in at the end of the month, or middle of
February.
middle to the end of February is when chicks will be coming in. Potatoes. People have been calling, asking about potatoes. They'll be coming in around middle of February as well, along with what else is coming in for? I got so much stuff coming in. I don't even know anymore.
This is the reason y'all have to come back each week.
Yeah, the spring bulbs will be coming in around February as well.
Okay.
All the winter bulbs are gone. Sorry. So yeah, everything's coming in within the next month or two.
Good deal.
So that's when we're getting the stuff in. That's when you should be kind of thinking and getting ready of going.
That's right.
We got some new sprays. That's going to be for killing weeds and stuff like that. I'm bringing in some different kind of a fertilizer. It's going to be less tree, more grass.
Okay.
At a really good price. I tracked some down. Actually, it's one of our older providers. We kind of with them again. They were kind of in that dark area. Now they're out of the dark area, so we're going to be bringing in their stuff. Prices have come down on some things. Some of our herbicides have come down. One of them's come down a lot, which we're jumping up and down about right now.
Good.
And then now we're just waiting to see what else is going to happen. The fertilizer that we have on hand, I don't know what the next round is going to be as far as if it's going to. We're hoping it's going to come down. It looks like everything else is starting to kind of come down. Seeds have actually kind of gone up. Now, I couldn't tell you why on that. I don't know, crop
always
or
supply
whatever.
and demand.
Yeah.
Probably less seeds and more people want them.
Yeah,
Probably.
and there are some seeds that I did not get only because the price is just so damn ridiculous.
Yeah.
So darn ridiculous. Darn. Sorry.
Basically, what you need to do is pop in each week. Kind of, this is the evolving season. I mean, it's always evolving. But this is a fast and furious this time of year as we get ready to get into spring here and getting ready for spring. So check back each day, each week.
Yeah.
Roswell Seed here. Call in or come by and check back what you're looking for. But now's the time to start doing your prep work to get your lawns and gardens ready for spring plant and spring gardening here. Now's the time to do it. The weekends are pretty nice. I know this weekend might get a little windier, but
it's going to get a little bit windy.
Might be spend a couple hours getting your soil ready here for planting in a couple weeks.
Yep. So. And like I said, we accept all phone calls. There's never a stupid question. Don't even start with that. Because trust me, I can tell you some questions that I've gotten that'll beat yours out by 1,000 feet.
We're all experts in certain things, and so if you don't know anything about lawn and garden, what you want to do, then you talk to the people, and if you don't know anything about it, you ask dumb questions like why you need a rooster to have chickens and eggs.
And then we got our seed catalog too, and it shows month by month what to plant, how much to plant, when to plant, and all that. We got all that covered. 126 years of trial and error. A lot of trial, a lot of error.
So you get good at it after a while.
Yeah,
Good deal. Well, thank you guys.
All righty, thank you.
Good luck not going to the doctor.
I'm trying.
And we will see you on Thursday.
I'm trying not to.
It is 9:56.
A little bit breezy, low to mid 30s and clear for the overnight hours. We'll have a little bit more cloud cover on Friday, but some sunshine too, and we'll stay in the low 60s. Saturday looks sunny with upper 50s, and then we could get some showers on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Talk radio has landed on the all-new 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
The crash of a military helicopter in stormy Southern California weather has claimed the lives of all 5 Marines on board. The aircraft went down Tuesday night in the mountains outside San Diego. A U.S. drone strike has killed several members of an Iranian-backed militia in Baghdad, including a high-ranking commander, said to be responsible for the deaths of 3 American soldiers in Jordan.
There have been calls from Shia paramilitary leaders, pro-Iranian militia leaders, for their supporters to come out on the streets to show their anger. There have been calls also for retaliation, specifically one militia leader saying, "We want blood for blood."
The BBC's Orla Guerin in Baghdad. The U.S. Supreme Court about to hear an appeal of a Colorado ruling barring former President Trump from the state's primary ballot.
Justices will decide whether Donald Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election make him ineligible to run for office. According to the Colorado Supreme Court, the former president should not be on the primary ballot. That ruling marked the first time in history that Section 3 of the 14th Amendment had been used to disqualify a presidential candidate.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. A new foreign aid bill has surfaced in the Senate. It includes tens of billions of dollars for Israel and Ukraine, minus the border-related provisions that Republicans objected to in the earlier bill. At least a half dozen people are missing, 2 police officers suffering non-life-threatening wounds following a shooting and subsequent house fire in the Philadelphia suburb of East Lansdowne. The officers were answering a call of a shooting at the home yesterday afternoon when they were shot. The house then burst into flames with multiple people inside. On Wall Street, the Dow is 15 points higher, the Nasdaq up 15 as well. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are taking your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Pakistanis braving cold winter weather as well as the threat of violence to vote for a new parliament.
More than 500,000 security officials, army, police and paramilitary will be out across Pakistan to try to keep the elections safe. This election has been overshadowed by the question about whether it is free and fair. the former Prime Minister Imran Khan remains wildly popular, despite being disqualified and in prison, sentenced to 14 years. His party have continued without him. Meanwhile, three-time Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif is back from self-imposed exile. The numerous court cases against him have been dropped, and he's been out campaigning. Last election, he was the one in prison when Mr. Khan won.
The BBC's Caroline Davies. Honda reports profits rose 3.5% in the October through December quarter from 1 year earlier. The Tokyo-based automaker saw solid demand in the U.S. and Europe, along with a recovery in its home market. News and analysis at townhall.com. Federal, state, and local authorities hoping to make Sunday's Super Bowl super secure.
Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas says there are no known threats to the Super Bowl. Mayorkas says they don't want a repeat of what happened during the AFC Championship game in Baltimore when the contest was stopped in the first quarter.
The timeout was called by security officials at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore when an unidentified drone flew over the stadium.
The air around Allegiant Stadium has been designated by the Federal Aviation Administration as a no-drone zone. TSA officers have been trained to spot human trafficking, and extra agents will be added to handle record post-game crowds. I'm Mike Hempen.
Kansas set to nearly double state legislators' pay at the start of the next year, boosting total annual compensation to almost $58,000. That's up from $30,000. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Man, the deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Yes, sir.
I saw a funny thing a friend of mine put on Facebook. And you have to know the friend to appreciate it more. So I saw a post that he put on his Facebook page, and it's like this picture of this private jet. And the guy, he's a friend of mine from high school. We were friends in high school. Well, his name is Frank Shelton. And Frank is now like a evangelist.
Okay.
But he's kind of got some street cred. Like, he's nationally known. He hangs out with, like, he's on Fox sometimes. He's on.
So he's like a known, he's like a, kind of a Joel Osteen style.
A little bit, not that.
He's hip in the streets.
That level, and he's not shady like Osteen. But,
right, good point. But like rappers show up with him sometimes for the God cred.
I mean, yeah, not rappers so much, but yes, people like Sylvester Stallone. He is acquaintances with Stallone.
Dang.
He's like acquaintances with Meadowlark Lemon from the Globetrotters. He's got, you know what I mean?
That is a spectrum right there.
I mean, it's pretty broad. I mean, like back in, like right out of high school, he got into politics, and he was like an aide for like the White House people and all that stuff. And then, so he's got like connections through politics and through religion. And so he's kind of a connected dude.
Sure.
So matter of fact, he was just in New Mexico.
Okay.
I saw him in Cruces or something. He was doing a series of events in Cruces, and I saw on his Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so he's done gigs here in New Mexico. It's probably people that know who he is.
Right.
But anyway, so this morning I'm on Facebook and I see his Facebook post, and because it's him, I'm like, okay, this might be, and it's literally a picture of a private jet, and it says, hey, my brother lives in Las Vegas. We're gonna go to Vegas Sunday morning on the plane, and we're going to go to the game and then come back Sunday night. And we got room for 4 or 5 more people if you're interested in joining us. Preferably if you've got a plane and Super Bowl tickets. Otherwise, we can't go. But for a minute there, I thought, my boy's a baller. Look at this. And I got to the bottom. I'm like, oh. I thought Frank was like, man, he's big time in it now. I'm going to Super Bowl in a private plane, all this. And then I'm like, yeah, if anybody's got a private plane and tickets, can we go?
I heard some stats, or I read some stats earlier that last year's Super Bowl was watched by 115.2 million people.
Wow.
You just don't see numbers like that for anything anymore at all. I mean, back in the day, when there wasn't like 1,000 different
MASH
options.
was like.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that can compare as far as like a show, and I'm pretty sure that'll never be beaten because
back then we only had 3 channels
we
or 4 channels.
We consume media differently. So that's one of those that's just going to stand the test of time.
Yeah.
One of those statistics. But a seat on the 50-yard line was selling on StubHub for $56,062 and 85 cents. But that's also including their fees. So, you can subtract like $15 from that. That's what it's supposed to be. No,
I'm sure them fees are heavy.
Oh, no, they get their chunk for sure. But this whole thing is a mint. It's like they're printing money off the Super Bowl. An ad, a 30-second ad, costs $7 million.
Oh, yeah, it's a big cash cow. I mean, and this is where, and maybe it's because I don't have that kind of money, but, and so my mind's different. I mean, it's probably different, but like obviously you have to be pretty affluent to afford 50-yard line seats at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But for that kind of money, I don't want to sit in a regular chair on the 50-yard line buying $20 beers and peanuts. Because really that's all they're getting.
Yeah.
Like normally you pay that kind of money, you're in a luxury box and there's food catered to you and and there's TVs and
Taylor's one wall away.
But in essence they're paying that kind of money to sit. Now, granted, they're good seats.
Right.
But they're still just seats where you're sitting next to everybody else. You know what I mean?
That's what's always been the mind boggle for me. Because if you really think about it, the people who are, there's the nosebleed seats. But right behind those nosebleed seats are the skyboxes that are paying tens of thousands of dollars to be in there. Their view is arguably worse. Now, I know they've got the closed circuit TVs and all that.
They're there for the status.
Right. But it's just like, that's always bothered me. It's like, your seats are technically worse.
They are, but it's the status.
It's the status.
Because they're not the Super Bowl, because that's all the celebrities come, and none of them are uber football fans. They're going to be studying every play. They're just there mingling and saying, hey, here's me being at the Super Bowl. Look, I'm somebody. They could care less.
And that's, if you think about it, the $7 million is just for the real estate. That's just for the land. Then you have to buy the spot. You have to pay for the spot. And these spots are I saw one, it's Uber Eats. It's got David and Victoria Beckham, Jennifer Aniston, David Schwimmer, and somebody else. I can't remember. But it's like, these commercials are like mini movies now.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, they get paid. They get paid. That's why they do them. But to me, I don't, and I think maybe it's my older brain, just because younger, I would have been like, it's cool, it's being a part of the thing, I get it. And I guess now, because my brain's just so not driven by acceptance or, you know what I mean? Or just wanting to be in the in crowd, like that's not a goal anymore, or even something I want even to achieve.
I just want one of their paydays. If I could have one of their paydays, I'm set for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Because I'm thrifty. I'm going to move out the trailer park probably. But besides that, I could live a modest lifestyle and live on $7 million for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Easily.
I'm not a greedy person. I'm not going to go out and blow it. I don't have any cousins.
From our perspective, it's easy to say that.
Yeah, exactly. when you're so far below that status line.
Well, when you get to a certain level, then your brain warps and things change, and you start believing things that are not necessarily accurate.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's all true. It's all everybody's interpreting life through their own perspective, and sometimes it's not always the right perspective. Sometimes
it's true.
The older you get, the more you learn. Anyway, Super Bowl's expensive. That was the moral.
I was like,
story.
this went dark. I didn't mean to go down that path. It just, dang.
We're going to be joined this hour
boys.
by artist Greg Birch.
Yes.
He's been on the show several times, giving us multiple paintings and things.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing artist.
He's got several updates, a couple paint donations that he's donated to a couple different things. He's got a couple of other paintings going on into some contests and things too. So we got a bevy of updates from Greg here, so we'll get that here this hour.
I can say this because I'm pretty sure the party involved is not listening, but I'm actually commissioning Greg for a piece.
Nice.
Yes. Pretty excited about it too.
Can you hint us any more?
Just that it's for a friend of mine.
Okay.
And yeah.
All right. Next hour. Remind me. Cruise next hour. I got to talk about that.
All right.
Remember I teased it yesterday and then I got to sidetracking. So next hour, we got to do that.
All right.
All right.
You tease.
It is 8:15. Let's get you up to date on the weather. And I ain't gonna lie. Like Super Bowl weekend, like Sunday's not going to be the most ideal for hanging outdoors. Like if you like to do the fire thing and all that, Sunday's probably not the best for that. But it is New Mexico.
Well, thanks, Mike.
I'm just saying. I'm just being a realist.
We just wanted one day of good weather and you couldn't give it to us.
I don't want to polish your turd, man. I want to give it to you straight.
Call the station right now and yell at Mike. It's his fault. He did this to you.
That's right. Roy will answer it. He's Mike. Just yell at Roy.
Roy's a sponge. It's fine.
That's right. He's a lightning rod. Give it to Roy. All right, 8:15. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look nice today. We have high pressure back over the area, sunshine, and pretty comfortable daytime highs in the low 60s and a little bit breezy. Low to mid 30s and clear for the overnight hours. We'll have a little bit more cloud cover on Friday, but some sunshine too, and we'll stay in the low 60s. Saturday looks sunny with upper 50s, and then we could get some showers on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 40 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 51%. Winds currently out of the south at 6 miles per hour. Today, expect sunny skies. 64 are high today with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly clear skies tonight, looking at an overnight low of 33 degrees with southwest winds at around 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny, 61 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the southwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, looking at an overnight low of 34 degrees, south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for the weekend on Saturday, mostly sunny, a little cooler, 58 for a high on Saturday with southwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday night, we're looking at a 30% chance of rain and snow showers after midnight, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 33. That 30% chance, so it's 33, so it's probably more in the rain than the snow, but might see a few flakes there. 20% chance of some rain and snow for your Sunday, then for before noon, and then just rain after noon. Partly cloudy with a high of only 46 Sunday. So like I said, it's not the most ideal, but if you got a chimeria that works pretty good or a fireplace, you'd be all right. Sunday night, mostly clear, overnight low of 24, and then Monday, sunny and a high of 57. Of course, if it's too cold, just have a lot of bean dishes. And about halftime, everyone should warm up pretty good. All right, it is 8:17. We're going to take a 3.5-minute break, and then on the other side, artist Greg Birch will join us. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
A snoring partner is more than a rough night's sleep for you. It could lead to some serious problems. Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. Snoring, stopping breathing, and gasping for air in the middle of the night aren't just a pain for you. It could be a sign of sleep apnea, which can result in a lot more problems for both of you. Luckily, we can help. With our revolutionary oral appliance, you and your partner can breathe easier and get a better night's sleep.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455. Pecos Valley Production is excited to announce their online ordering has never been easier because now You can order from PVP online in Spanish. Simply head for PecosValleyProduction.com and switch the tab on the bottom left of your screen from English to Spanish. Now, it's never been easier to get access to the healing and calming products you need simply and affordably. Just log on to PecosValleyProduction.com and switch the tab on the bottom left of the screen from English to Spanish. Pecos Valley Production. Dairy to dank since 2016. Must be 21 or over with valid ID to purchase.
Attention high school students and parents. ENMU Open House Spring Preview Day is Saturday, March 23rd. Future Greyhounds can get information about admission and scholarships, meet with the faculty to talk about potential majors, get a specialized campus tour, and win great prizes, including a $500 scholarship. Don't miss out on this great opportunity to experience ENMU. Sign up today at enmu.edu/open house. Eastern New Mexico University, student success. That's what we're about.
We can all use help strengthening our marriage to build this house. Church on the Move invites you to the Joy of Marriage Conference, a 3-day event for married couples. Hear speakers Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman, American Idol finalist Danny Goki and his wife Leah Sett, as well as Willie and Rachel Scott, founders of Better Than Blended. February 15th through the 17th at Church on the Move in Roswell. Seats are limited. Visit cotmroswell.com or call the church office 575-622-7011.
Score a touchdown at your next tailgate with La Poblanita Party Tostadas. The perfect chip with the most satisfying crunch in the game. Flavored just right with El Charro's signature seasoning, it's the dippable chip that bites back. Make game night a winner with the chips everybody talks about. The chips that make bland salsas better and good salsas great. Snag a bag of La Poblanita Party Tostadas at your local grocery stores all over southeastern New Mexico. And get the party started with La Poblanita Party Tostadas by El Charro. They're all that and a bag of chips.
If you think the only job at a broadcast station is in front of a microphone, you're missing some great opportunities. The broadcasting industry in New Mexico is thriving and offers exciting career opportunities in many areas, including advertising sales, promotions, news, business administration, engineering, and more. Learn about these career opportunities by visiting the New Mexico Broadcasters Virtual Job Fair beginning Monday, February 5th and running through Friday, February 9th at broadcastersvirtualjobfair.com. This job fair will provide information about jobs available in the broadcast industry, as well as specific positions here at Pecos Valley Broadcasting Company. You'll have the opportunity to apply for great jobs online and begin your career in New Mexico's exciting broadcast industry. Minorities and women are strongly encouraged to visit. Stop by the New Mexico Broadcasters Job Fair, brought to you by Pecos Valley Broadcasting at www.broadcastersvirtualjobfair.com.
You can't hunt camels in Arizona, but you can buy them. They go for about $10 a pack. Here's Mike Winters.
Yeah. And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, artist Greg Birch back with us. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing great. Good to have you back again. How's life in your world this morning?
I can't complain.
Yeah.
Well, I can complain. Will you listen?
Yeah, I was going to say, do any good? Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah, I get a radio show, so sometimes people have any choice. But,
right.
But, of course, Super Bowl this week. I know you're a football guy, so you're probably pretty excited to get ready for the big game. And,
yes, sir.
And do you have a favorite?
No. My team's not in this thing.
Mine either. But
I'm going to go for the 49ers, but I think that it's going to be KC.
I kind of...
The field's in their favor. Let's put it that way.
I tend to lean with what you, but I too am going to root for 49ers, and that's because of my Washington connections. I mean, you got Kyle Shanahan as the head coach. He was, former offensive coordinator for Washington. His dad obviously was the head coach at that time. Trent Williams, who's the stud left tackle for the 49ers, was a Washington Commanders product.
Yes,
and
sir.
he's in his first Super Bowl, so I'm pulling for those guys.
Right.
Those are the guys I'm pulling for, guys that connect to my Washington. And plus, now that our general manager, Adam Gates, who was the assistant GM for the 49ers this season up until about a week ago. And so, all those factors, I'm going to root for the 49ers.
Stuff moved fast downhill.
That's true, too. So
Real fast.
But I'm very excited about football. But we're not here to talk just about football today. But for folks that are not familiar, Greg's, you've been on the show quite a few times, and each time you come on, you've given us multiple paintings. The paintings you see on the show all the time, my Metallica painting, everything. These are all works of Greg Birch.
Well, you
here.
haven't burned them yet.
No, heck no, I will never. And then of course Greg also, he's got a lot of works that are in various museums around the region, and contests and things. You're kind of you keep your brush dipped in a lot of different paints going on here.
Full blown, man. If I sit down right now, then I'm never going to get up. You know.
So basically, we're just getting an update on the multiple things that are kind of burners that are on your stove right now. Here.
Yes, sir. And I'd like to start. Tammy Alvarez.
Yes, and she's going to join us, I think, next week on the radio.
Right.
She's got a big event coming up, a community event here.
Yes, for the love of community. I've been pushing it kind of hard for her, too. But anyway, she's got it Saturday, February 17th.
Yes.
From 1 to 3 at the community room at the Pioneer Bank.
The main branch, on North Main up here. Yeah.
North Main.
And
everybody come out, for real.
Local folks have donated in painting. I did one a couple months ago.
Yes, sir.
And they're all little, I don't know what we call them, like a 3x3 maybe, or 4x4.
4x4.
4x4, little piece of canvas. And each person says, here, make a painting. Tammy worked with me, so mine actually looks like something someone may want to own someday.
Come on now.
And so basically, you can purchase these for charity. They all go or earmarked for charities.
Yes.
And it's just a little charity event to promote the arts and get people to see what great arts community we really have in this town.
Now, the one that I donated is 24 by 30.
Yeah, Greg's painting is slightly larger than the little 4x4 that I did.
Yes. And somebody will win that, and they can hang that in their home.
Yeah. Now, is this the painting that's for that, or this is a different painting?
No,
yeah.
this one here is a competition.
Yeah, they've got that one.
Yeah.
I just want to clear that up. We were pointing people like, "Oh, is that the painting?"
But I've been posting it on Facebook, and the community come out, and we can visit and tell stories and get to know each other a little bit better, and just have fun with it.
But yeah, the whole idea is this is like
it's going to charity.
Yeah, it's like a first annual thing, and she'd like to do this each year and get it to where we get local celebrities and stuff each year making paintings, donating things, and we can make some money for charity and
it's
raise
going
awareness
to a good cause.
Yeah, absolutely.
For real.
So mark that on your calendars, February 17th, and again, it'll be at Pioneer Bank, the North Main, in the community room there. And but we will have Tammy on. I can't remember what day next week, but on next week to kind of tell us more about it and get all the details and kind of tell us where she's at on that right now, because this kind of started about a year ago.
Yes.
The planning part of it here. So, but yeah, it's all I know, and I know we kept talking. It's like, I'll be about March of next year,
and
February
all good
next year.
things take time.
Yep.
They really do.
Here we are. So, but yeah, and that's great what she's doing over there. And if you ever walked into the main studio over here, the artist studio, it's a great place because it's
the gallery.
Yeah, the gallery. Thank you. I always the Main Street Gallery, Main Street Art. The place right over here. And you go there, and it's a beautiful facility filled with little event spaces that artists, whether you're into painting or ceramics or multiple facets of art. The artists, they do everything from woodworking to metalwork to painting to drawing to sculpture and clay work. And I mean, if it's artistic, there's probably an artist who's devoted to that medium there. And it's really just a collection of community artists. And you come and you can shop and help support the artist. But at the same time, if you're an artist or wanting to be one, it's a great place to network, get your work out to people, and provide a platform for some of these folks. So it's a really cool place to go just visit, even if you can't make any kind of colors blend work, or that's not your strength, but you can appreciate it. You'll find some great stuff to support local artists and buy their stuff.
Yes, sir.
So it's a good thing.
But so I worked up a painting, and it was the Lost to History.
Okay.
What the jail in 1881 would have looked like in Las Vegas, New Mexico.
Okay.
Now, there was some controversy on this because we knew, but there's no pictures. There's nothing of this place. So it can be debated 16 ways from Sunday. The good deal is that I've got a bird's eye view map.
Okay.
And it actually shows this building in 1882.
Okay.
Now, the story goes, okay, our friend Billy the Kid gets captured at Stinking Springs. Okay. Pat Garrett and them, they take him Puerto de Luna, which I've got a painting that's going to be donated, and I'll continue on with this. Gets his last minute meal in Puerto de Luna, then goes up to Las Vegas, New Mexico. Las Vegas, New Mexico. He apparently stays there before they take him into Santa Fe. Okay. Now, Santa Fe and Las Vegas have always declared that both of them has housed Billy the Kid up until they took him down to La Mesilla.
Okay.
Okay. So they got placards at both of these places. Well, if you do all the research and you really start going into this thing, this guy that prints everything in the Las Vegas Gazette, to me, he's overlapped the two jails.
Okay.
Now, that's not to say that he done anything wrong.
Right.
This is the 1800s.
Sure.
I mean, dadgum, man.
A lot of details
the way
get
that
fuzzy.
they spoke,
Yeah.
the things are going to get lost and overlap.
Sure.
Anyway, we knew that the jail was on the corner of Gonzales, and I knew I was going to forget the other street.
And I'm not familiar with the town, so I couldn't help you out there.
Right. But anyway, it was on the corner there, and I took pictures of it, posted everything on Facebook. And anyway, like I said, I found this bird's eye view map, and it shows it.
Okay.
It shows the exact structure.
Okay.
The only problem is it doesn't give you a listing. So then I started going through Las Vegas and backtracking on a bunch of stuff, and all I found was a materials list. And I know that the bottom of it is in crushed stone.
Okay.
And from there, then they use the adobe bricks.
Okay.
And then it tells you that the roof was tin, the overhang was wood. Now, at the same time, if you go back and look at Puerto de Luna, okay, you got two different buildings here, but it was basically in the same era.
Okay.
Okay. Puerto de Luna looks exactly like a sister to the jail in Las Vegas.
The construction's very similar on both.
Because it was of the era, the
Right.
building style.
And
that would have not changed.
Sure.
Because if you look on the pictures and the building structures here, I mean, the Bacchus come in and they settle Las Vegas, New Mexico.
Right.
Okay. They build the town square that looks like a fort to keep all the Indians and everything out, because just up the road you got Fort Union.
Mm-hmm.
But Fort Union wasn't issued into that Las Vegas as of just yet. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. I need to move on. But anyway, so I found this and I painted the jail. Now, I got you within 95%. Can it still be debated that this is this building and it wasn't a square building? All the facts prove that this is what you're looking at, that jail would have looked like.
Based
within
on
a
all the data. Yeah.
Everything that I've found. And so I contacted David Romero, which is the mayor of Las Vegas.
Okay.
Got to meet the whole city council and everything like that. And nice man. They took over the painting, took pictures and everything like that. Got to talk for a few minutes and everything. And anyway, so I've got a second painting that I'm going to be doing, and it's going to be hanging at the old train station.
Okay.
There in Las Vegas. But if you go right now, you get out and you just want to view some things, go to the city hall there. They've got it hanging. And then you can go downtown and you can see where the bank would have sat.
Oh, nice.
Or where the jail would have sat.
You can kind of
and you're seeing it.
Plug it in.
You're seeing it what Billy based it on, where he said that when he talked to the guy from the Las Vegas Gazette in Santa Fe, he asked him about the jail, and he said, with the jail in Santa Fe compared to the jail in Las Vegas, New Mexico, he said this jail, which is the Santa Fe jail, is a far sight better than that one that they kept us in.
Interesting.
in Las Vegas.
Interesting.
So I painted it to you're viewing what he would have seen.
Gotcha.
But this was the structure of the time.
Right.
Now, you have to remember, man, these jerks, to me, they took my history, your history, because they burned the McSween home down.
Yeah.
We don't get to see it unless we rebuild it.
Nope.
Now,
You're right.
Mother Nature took Pete Maxwell's house because of the stream flooding there in Fort Sumner, which I've got another painting in. And to go on with this, it's in the works, and it shows the one story that we believe that would have been in Billy's time. The one story.
Okay.
It didn't have the upper deck on the house.
Gotcha.
So I'm painting it. It will be donated to Fort Sumner, and it will go to their Chamber of Commerce.
Very cool.
These structures are our history.
Absolutely.
I mean, they were built. They were beautiful. Plus, I got sent a beautiful jewel the other day. Can't tell the source. But they gave me the exact blueprints of the house, the ranch house, that Pete Maxwell had up in Cimarron.
Oh, wow.
Before he moved down.
Cool.
And it shows it, and its dimensions are almost exactly. This house would have looked exactly from Cimarron, which it did pretty much, what it did in Fort Sumner when they built it.
Gotcha.
From there, Puerto de Luna, I've got a painting. We're trying to find the best place for it to go, for people to see that history, because that building is falling down, and it will be lost to history because it's not maintained. And this is part of New Mexico's history.
Absolutely.
These structures.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the people. You don't have to like the story of Billy the Kid, but the structures.
Well, it's the history, and it proves what it had, and we learn from it, and that's the whole point of history, is to study humans and things, to understand why we do the things we do and what we do, and at the end of the day, avoid the mistakes from the past. So we do that. So yes, these are all reminders of all of those things. That's why we study Hitler and Nazi Germany and all these things.
Yes, sir.
So we know why that happened and make sure we don't let that ever happen again. And that's what history's all about. But yes, we need those preserved and things. And that's, to me, I mean, it's like, to me, because like you said, the Billy the Kid, the story here, the whole Santa Fe ring and all that is just a big, shady mafia. Mafia with cowboy hats is pretty much what it is.
Yeah, there was no winners. I mean, nobody won in this thing.
Yeah, this is straight up New York gangster stuff with cowboy hats.
Because nobody came out on the top side.
Yeah.
And basically, if you want my opinion, and I've told several other historians that we talk back and forth with, all of these guys died a miserable life.
Yeah.
Either drinking themselves to death at the end of this thing.
I'm sure it's mental health city there. They're all self-absorbed on this. And
nobody gained a higher ground.
Yeah. And it's a hard life. Let's just face it. They're living in, they're not in the cushions of the city where there's amenities, for that time, relatively at their fingertips.
Exactly.
We're out in the Wild West. You want to eat tonight, then you either got to find it or find a town within 100 miles that has a saloon with a, you know what I mean?
Hey, Ed, what are we going to have tonight? Coyote.
Yeah, I don't know what's out there in the prairie, and yes, that's a freedom, but at the same time, it does take a toll on life and body, and people don't live longer and things when you're out in the conditions.
And what I'm finding out from these towns, repainting these structures, when you get to see them for the first time, it's like, it's not actually taking you back to a place as much as it is giving you the feeling, the essence of, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like turning it over to Fort Sumner, turning it over to Las Vegas, New Mexico, turning it over to the one that's fixing to go to La Mesilla. These places are proud to get this because, this is what was in their town. It was a structure. It was a building that showed the period of the time and what people, you can actually see what they were thinking in the structure.
And the one we're talking about this, or that, you're kind of saying that we're losing these buildings to history and all that, it kind of gets me thinking about something that I've experienced growing up, because I grew up in Maryland and East Coast.
Right.
And it's something that they've been dealing with on a same kind of issue, bigger on the East Coast that we're talking about here. Whereas we lose history to time, obviously, but also to progress. And there's a lot, the East Coast of the United States has a lot of history with the Revolutionary War fought there, Civil War fought there. Civil War's fought here too, but a lot of it was fought back east. Most of it was there. But there's so many historical things that took place there, and we're losing a lot of that to modern man, to time.
Exactly.
You look at things like the Gettysburg Battlefield, or Valley Forge, or some of the battlefields in Virginia, and they're losing them. I mean, there's still some plots of land and cannons and statues here and there, but but the land where some significant stuff took place now is like a Starbucks or a Kmart or something. Yeah. And so we need to preserve that, and that's what this kind of stuff. And like you said, we can't do much about time. Time, we're going to lose it. Mother Nature's going to kick our butt every single time.
She's going to win.
So what's the best way to preserve that? And let's face it, unless we got a bunch of millionaires running around that can go up and preserve all these places, we just, there's bigger fish to fry sometimes.
Well, and you're getting a piece here that somebody's taking the time and doing the research and saying, I can put you within 95% to say, just come and look at it, y'all. It's not charging you nothing to go in that city hall. And it's not, you don't get charged to go in at Fort Sumner and see these places, what they would have looked like.
But it keeps it all alive.
Yes.
And dare I say, who knows, after we're long and dead, and these buildings, the ones that still have remnants, don't anymore, these paintings, believe it or not, these paintings might be key ingredients for them to do archaeological digs and things. And when they come to a point where they're going to dig in the earth and find relics from these facilities and buildings and things, they might be using your paintings and your information to kind of do their own searching on some of this stuff.
And that's
the when you talk about art, and I heard you talking about the importance of art and things, and that's part of it too. Yes, art is a thing of beauty, and every you get 10 people in a room and you'll get 10 different definitions of what their art is to them, but the one thing about it, and especially with the type of art you do and artists like you, it has that history angle, and it's the research and work involved in each one of these paintings. Not only am I presenting you something to stare at and give you thoughts and because that's the whole thing of painting is you sit there and next thing you know, your mind wanders. What was going on there? What's it like? Or are you focusing on a particular tree or something in the thing? And that's what paintings and art's supposed to do. But on top of that, now it says, man, wouldn't it be cool if we had that kind of history or bringing it back? Or who knows, some young kid might see one of your paintings, and that's the thing that turns them into a life of loving to study Billy the Kid and history. And if we don't garner that next generation, then we lose history.
Well, and I'm leading up to something here, and I'll get through all this stuff real fast for you. But the next one is that probably next month or the month after, I'll have a painting that's going to be going to La Mesilla.
Okay.
And this one here is the gel.
Okay.
If you can't see the connection here, he wasn't exactly America's type citizen, but
he's an outlaw. Let's just say.
The point is that he's connected to this history.
Yeah.
He created it.
Sure.
Think about it. If Billy the Kid didn't exist, would you even have known? Would I even have cared?
Yeah.
Would other historians even cared what these places look like?
No.
The problem is that the story did occur.
Absolutely.
You don't have to like him. You don't even have to like it.
Sure.
But these structures are, oh my God,
Yeah.
man.
Well,
they were built. So La Mesilla, it's gel. Sorry.
No, you're
so
good.
it's gel. At best, it was only 20 years old. And this is what you got to take into consideration here. This gel was only 20 years old at his time. And this thing was in bad shape. Just 20 years.
Sure.
Because this is nothing but mud brick.
Yeah,
That's it.
It's not designed to last 50 years. It takes.
And so this is the whole trail that you have to look at, what this gel looked like in Las Vegas, New Mexico. You can't just say that it was a mountain gel, which it was.
Right.
But then you have to look at the structures of its time. Nothing was built different because the Plaza Hotel was only the next best thing that was coming into Las Vegas. If you see this gel, this is Victorian or hotel. This thing is Victorian.
Sure. Yeah.
Beautiful structure.
Sure. Well, and construction like today was done. You find there's
modernization.
Yeah,
it grows.
But when they go to build structures and things, they find a way that works best. And once that's best, they use it all. So the jails make sense. They construct a jail a certain way. This is the blueprint we use for all of our jails. Sure, the dimensions might be a little bit, or doors here instead of there.
Exactly.
But as far as the construction techniques and the way the bricks and the wood's laid, it's all done by the tradition of learning how to do it.
Most New Mexicans, now, I'm born and raised in New Mexico. I've lived here my whole life. I mean, this is my state.
This is what you know.
This is why I paint this state. And most people don't know. But a little fact about Santa Fe now is it's the oldest capital city in America.
Yeah. Yeah.
This thing held 7 flags from 7 nations. That's Santa Fe. That's its history. The jail in Santa Fe, that's the one that I'm trying to do all the research on right now. And it's a struggle because there is so much contradiction that's going back and forth. Push on where this jail was. It on San Francisco Street? Was it on Water Street?
Yeah.
Blam, blam, blam.
I love telling, like, when I go back to visit family and things, I go back east and I tell them about some of the churches in Santa Fe. It's like, oh, yeah, those have been around since the 1600s. And they kind of look at me like, what do you mean? Because that's, Jamestown history for back east. And I'm like, yeah, conquistadors were hanging out a long time doing stuff. The oldest church in the United States, not on the East Coast.
You got to remember a lot. And that was like one of the very first governors. Her and her husband get incarcerated and go back to Mexico. Okay. And this is where they're held. And she writes a whole big old deal about it. And anyway, he tells her whenever they first see the palace of the governors, he's like, oh my God, we're going to stay here. Yeah. They were still sending back messages to Mexico, even during this time in the 1600s.
Wow.
In order to say what's going on and what needed to be done.
Sure. Well, they're expanding the empire.
Still out of the Mexico influence.
Yeah. Still out of the empire there.
So anyway, what I'm giving the public here is Rincon, New Mexico is one that I'm doing research on. That's just going to take time. Because that's apparently where the train stops and they take Billy on down into La Mesilla. But you start here in Roswell and you start here at our Chamber of Commerce. I donated the first house in New Mexico or in Roswell, and it was just down the street over here.
Yeah.
Okay. And you start there and you can see what that house looked like by Mr. Lee. Okay. And what they had changed it into. Then from there, you can go ahead and take it on up to Fort Sumner, and you can see where Billy was. And I'm leading you on the trail, what these places look like at his time. Back into Lincoln, and with the McSween home, everything that I painted there, you've seen numerous of the Lincoln paintings that I've done. So basically, I'm telling people, get off your duffs and get out there and look.
Absolutely. Well, we have an amazing state.
What these places were.
We have an amazing state when it comes to sightseeing and history and things like that. And it's such cool stuff to see. And if you've got the time, take weekend trips, go to Fort Sumner for the weekend or go, maybe not right now in Santa Fe, but after the session's all done.
It's pretty busy.
Yeah. After everyone goes home back to their homes here, go up there and do some sightseeing and things like that. Spend the day in Lincoln. I always tell people, and this is, if you want to understand why New Mexico's New Mexico, spend the day in Lincoln, New Mexico, and read everything. Yes. Read all the signs in the courthouse and at the museum and at the various little houses. Each house, it feels like.
Hey, and a big old word up, man. Brandon Dixon, for real.
Yeah.
We lost Drew Gomber, a dear friend, Mr. Historian, New Mexico. Lost him a couple of weeks ago. But Brandon Dixon, he does the street tours up there. Yeah. He was the next thing to Drew Gomber about Lincoln. And he got into a motorcycle accident. He's in recovery. I mean, he's learning how to walk and everything again. Yeah. But
it's going to be a while before he's back on the touring.
He got messed up good.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And, there again, he was a soldier. He served his time.
Well, I hope they've got people, because what they do in Lincoln and Fort Stanton, those two, they're preserving such great historical landmarks and things. And if you never spent an afternoon in Fort Stanton, I know a lot of people go to Lincoln and forget about Fort Stanton there. Fort Stanton is cool.
Yes,
you can go there, and because it covers from Civil War all the way to World War I history.
Yep,
and it's all of that history there, and I'm so we're talking blackjack Pershing history in there. I mean, that's what kind of cool stuff that's in there. So and it's in your own backyard. It is literally an hour up.
So get out and see these places, y'all.
Absolutely.
For real. This painting here,
yes,
competition painting. This is going up to Cheyenne or to Cody, Wyoming, this September. This is by invitation only.
Okay.
But this is one of 3 I've still got a couple of little things that I'm going to do with it, but it's pretty much finished. But I've got till September.
It looks done to me. It looks beautiful. It's like, and I love this because there's a lot going on. With the different animals and the scenery. And these are one of those kind of paintings that you look at it for an hour and then go away and do some other things and come back and find new things. You know what I mean? It's one of those kind of paintings. I love those where you just, like, to be honest, and I'm not trying to make this sound like it to belittle it or anything, but these are the perfect paintings where I'm at a doctor's office or a dentist's office and I'm waiting a long time. And I need something to distract my brain because this is driving me nuts. And those paintings are the perfect thing for that because I'm like, I get lost in the painting and then I forget that some guy's about to dig in my mouth.
and this one here, to tell you the truth, I've done so much research on this and people would be like, okay, but there's just two animals. But there's no other painting that you're going to find that's got the bobcat and the pheasant together. I've searched through too many paintings.
And it doesn't exist.
I haven't found it.
And in this picture, I'm going to say the pheasant wins. I'm going to say the bobcat doesn't get for me, I think
well, in the title, name of game, sorry.
Well, I'm going to give the victory to the pheasant on this one. I think he's gonna outlast outrun the bobcat there. That's my hunch, but
I'm with you.
Y'all look and y'all interpret your way. I'm going to give the bird. I like to root for the underdog. That's just me.
So hopefully, come September, we'll see what we can do.
Good deal. And what contest is this one going in?
This is the Buffalo Bill Cody.
Buffalo Bill Cody contest. Oh man, that's cool. And I'm guessing the public can't help you. It's all they decide it all, and it's not,
this is all private.
Yeah, no vote for your favorite kind of thing. So we can't help out.
There's an auction at the end of this thing, but I get to go through all the museum, and I get to do a contest on the street during the time.
Nice.
So if anybody's out in Wyoming this September, come out and say hi.
That's one state I've never been to that I always wanted to go, and that's on the bucket list. Go up there and go to Wyoming.
You need to go to it.
Yeah,
man. I actually like it a little more than I do Montana.
Okay. And that's,
sorry to the family that lives up there, but
that's going to be a road trip for me one day where I hit Wyoming and the Dakotas and Montana. That's one part of the country I've never been to.
You need to do it. It's something to take your breath away.
I need to do that. Seeing some of the parks and
the
Grand Tetons. Sure, I'd like to, see Sturgis and see all what that's all about and all that, Mount Rushmore and all that stuff too. The Black Hills.
And check this out. I got some friends that's at Sturgis that's at the Buffalo Chip. We just became friends. They want me to do a painting for them, but they want me to come up there and have a booth at the motorcycle ride. Well, you're dragging. Come on, and this other stuff that
you might have. You might have the week of your life doing that that booth. Because
are you for real?
You're gonna be up late partying every night.
Yeah,
man.
like we got to reconstruct this game.
Well, maybe if they invited you, Greg Birch 20 years ago.
Yeah. And you got the later version.
That's right. This Greg Birch wants to be in bed by 8:30.
There you go.
No, I know that because that's what this Mike Winters wants to do. 20 years ago, Mike Winters was like, let's go to Sturgis.
Yeah.
30 years later, Mike Winters is like,
yeah. Now we say party.
That's right. Ooh,
we're asleep.
My show's on at 7:30. It's the highlight of my day.
Exactly.
But if folks are interested in maybe having Greg do something for you, because you do commission pieces for people and all that, is the best way just look you up on Facebook? Probably. That's kind of the way I always get a hold of you. So
and really keep your fingers crossed, y'all, because if things do work out, maybe we can have a store here in Roswell.
That'd be great.
But keep your fingers crossed. I mean, I'm trying to do some things, but everything's going to take a little bit of time right now.
And Greg does. You've done and yes, you kind of like your jam is historical and a lot of that stuff, but you do a little bit of everything from sports to you've done cartoon characters to, so you don't pigeonhole your genre.
Nah.
Yeah, you have your favorites, but you'll if it's paintable, you'll paint it. I think
exactly. Give me a reason to paint.
Yeah,
and I got you.
And I love because, and the thing with Greg is you like to also incorporate like hidden gems and kind of like Easter eggs,
more significant
in
the
each
higher
of your
meanings.
Yeah, but even even with in it more serious to even more just techniques and way you paint and say, all right, look at it from this angle, it does one thing, and from another angle, and that's all cool. That's, as a kid that grew up in the world where you got like free scratch and sniff cards and things and the Wonder Bread and all that, and you get the little holograph things. As a kid that grew up in that generation, I can appreciate to create that in a palette.
Well, see, and I got one of the first editions that came out of, if you remember Michael Jordan, whenever he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
I got one of the very first editions that's got the hologram card on the front.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And that's how come that some of my color shifts are based after that whole principle.
Gotcha. That was an influence for you.
Big time. Because I can look at it now and just do it and say, okay, where do I need to put this and where do I need to put that?
I'm just curious, how many paintings did you botch before you finally figured out the technique? Because I'm sure first one didn't come out perfect. It probably took a couple to get it right.
No, because I was actually in art school.
Okay.
What I was doing is I've still got my very first.
So you were in a brain where you were working on techniques anyway at that time. I imagine art school, you're constantly practicing techniques.
Actually, no. I was my mom and dad. Okay, we had some beef cows out on the at the house, and my mom said that I was just real fidgety and couldn't, stop my hands. And so she gave me a pencil and paper, and I drew out this bull that we had 3D scale. And so then they was sitting there and maybe you ain't stupid.
Right. Mine would have looked like a circle with some sticks on it. His looks like a bull. Hey, what's going on here?
Yeah. My dad walking through, maybe, honey, this boy's off his meds. But anyway, so they put me into art school up in Colorado.
Okay.
And actually, whenever I got up there, they just, they started honing my techniques.
Gotcha.
And I picked up to airbrush. That's what I started out with.
Okay.
And I was just like, I got bored with it because it was just too easy.
No challenges for you. Yeah.
And then I got into watercolor. Well, that was too easy. So, whenever we done our final, which was my first semester, which we had to do 104 full scale skeletons in perfect shading. That was our final, 100 of them.
Oh, wow.
And you only had that class period to do it.
Oh, wow.
And that was pass or fail. They didn't give you an in-between. At that point, they put all the pressure, and I was like, wow, that was pretty challenging. And then at that next semester, we finally got into oil paints. And I found that to be the struggle. And I was like, I'm not going to let this beat me. So that's the reason why I do oils, because I think it's the hardest medium.
That's the one that challenges you the most, and the one that gives you the most joy and angst at night.
Yes.
When you beat it, you love it. But when you're fighting it, you want to punch it in the mouth. Yeah, I get it.
And to finish up, here's the new book by Cindy Sloan Butts.
How many book covers do you have artwork on now? It's quite a few.
I got 5 done this year.
Nice.
And I post them all on Facebook.
Nice. This one's a little different than your normal ones. Because
Yes, sir.
a lot of ones, it's kind of more scenery and things. This one's kind of more clues to tell you the story of the book. So it's more letters and police badges and things like that.
The detective.
Yeah, the detective. Very
and
cool.
She's got another one in the works here pretty soon. We're pumping them out pretty good, man. But anyway, this one is yours.
Oh, thank you very much.
You betcha. This next time I'm going to have her on if she comes down. If she does not come down, then we'll have her on, on the phone or something if you don't mind.
Absolutely,
and,
yeah.
She'll be talking.
Love to have Cindy on. Absolutely.
And
I love that. And it's another Roswell story, which
yes,
I love.
sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Very cool.
That one is signed by both of us.
Oh, nice.
And
where can people get these on? Like Amazon? Okay.
Amazon.
Look for Cindy Sloan Butts, and she's the author, and you can see all of her books.
All of them.
And purchase them, including the latest one here, The Roadrunners and the Runaways of Roswell. Here.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's awesome.
And she's got a book signing coming up in March up in Albuquerque for people to.
Okay.
And I'll be posting that on my Facebook page.
Good deal. Well, yeah, we got to get her on one time and do all that too. And then look for Greg Birch on Facebook, Gregg Birch, Burch. And
donations is
absolutely.
what I'm giving out.
Yeah, he's going to different. But if you do want something personal, you want a personal thing commissioned, talk with Greg. He'll pick your brain and probably come up with a pretty good idea for you.
And I might be on next month I'm hurrying up here.
Okay.
I might be on next month. You'll need to do it with Post 61, where we're at the same time. So
Okay.
I can donate that painting because the USS Constitution Museum, it's looking like all of that. Pretty much no new.
Not gonna no updates there.
Well,
Gotcha.
no new
entries,
paintings.
Gotcha.
Because of insurance values and things like
Sure.
that.
Yeah.
They got hit this year.
Yeah. Having been serving on the Historical Society board, I'm very familiar with insuring things that are priceless, like historical artifacts and stuff.
Yes.
It's an expensive business. So I can see when you say that, I'm like, I know what they're talking about.
And not to get political, but that, like I said, they gave me the full thing and said that it just, and at this time, they got hit too bad this year.
I understand exactly, and it sucks because we had the same issue. And we're like, wow, it's gonna be expensive this year and all that, and it does cost money to preserve history. It's not cheap. It's not a cheap business.
So anyway, I'd like to come on and donate that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. We'll get
the USS Constitution.
Should we not let the Legion know? Of course, they might be listening, though, so we can play secret on them. But
we'll play secret.
The surprise.
Exactly.
Very good. Well, Greg, as always, it's great to see you. Thank you so much thank you for all the gifts you've given us over time here, and continuing to listen, support, and I can't wait to see your next adventures here in painting. And
I can't either. And public, get out and look at these places.
Absolutely, get out.
It's your history.
Explore your
state. Don't cost nothing.
And see it now.
Except your time.
That's right, because like you said, the time will. It's not going to be as good as it is today, because this, it's just we're losing it slowly over time. So it's not going to be any better than it is today. So go see it. Go see it while you can. So while you got the chance, bring your kids and cement that history into them.
Exactly.
So when they're old and gray and maybe these places are gone, they can pass that on to the next generation.
We did see it. It was in photo, but we saw it.
Absolutely. Well, as always, appreciate it, Greg. We'll see you next time. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell,
President Biden is mourning the loss of 5 Marines killed in a helicopter crash in Southern California.
The 5 were killed when their helicopter went down late Tuesday night during stormy weather in the mountains outside of San Diego. They were on a routine training mission. In a White House statement, the president extended his condolences, saying, "As we mourn this profound loss, we honor their selfless service and ultimate sacrifice."
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. A half-dozen victims unaccounted for after a shooting and fire at a home outside Philadelphia.
Authorities say police officers came under fire while responding to a 911 call that an 11-year-old girl had been shot at a house in East Lansdowne, Pennsylvania, Wednesday afternoon. One officer was shot in the arm, another in the leg, and had to be dragged to safety. Soon afterwards, the 3-story house erupted in flames.
We are afraid there might be more than one person in that house.
Jack Stolzheimer is the district attorney for Delaware County.
There are at least 6 to 8 people who are unaccounted for from that family. It is our terrible fear that they may be inside that house when it was burned.
Investigators are trying to piece together what led to the shooting and fire. Stolzheimer said there were no further threats to the community from that house. I'm Jennifer King.
The nation's highest court is considering the Colorado Supreme Court's ruling that former President Trump should not appear on the state's primary ballot. Today's arguments are historic as the U.S. Supreme Court considers for the first time the meaning and reach of the Constitution's Civil War-era insurrection clause, and Mr. Trump has not been charged with insurrection. The former president expected to sweep today's Republican caucuses in Nevada. Meanwhile, Democrat Marianne Williamson has dropped her bid for the Democratic presidential nomination. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is down 71 points, while the Nasdaq is trading 54 points higher. The S&P currently unchanged. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
A Russian opposition candidate who has called for peace in Ukraine been barred from appearing on the ballot in the upcoming presidential election.
Boris Nadezhdin, a local legislator in a town near Moscow, has been refused permission to run as a candidate in Russia's upcoming presidential elections. He was required by law to gather at least 100,000 signatures in support of his candidacy. The Central Election Commission declared more than 9,000 signatures submitted by Nadezhdin's campaign invalid, which was enough to disqualify him. Nadezhdin has openly called for a halt to the conflict in Ukraine and for starting a dialogue with the West. I'm Karen Chamas.
Haiti's prime minister is urging calm in a public address following 3 days of violent protests that have paralyzed Haiti. Thousands of demonstrators demanding his resignation. Brief speech aired early today. People are angry and frustrated over unrelenting gang violence and deepening poverty. Townhall.com. Mexico surpassed China as a leading source of goods imported into the U.S.
The shift reflects the growing tensions between Washington and Beijing, as well as U.S. efforts to import from countries that are friendlier and closer to home. Figures released by the U.S. Commerce Department show that the value of goods imported to the United States from Mexico rose nearly 5% from 2022 to 2023 to more than $475 billion. At the same time, the value of Chinese imports tumbled 20%. The last time that Mexican goods imported to the United States exceeded the value of China's imports was in 2002. Keith Peters reporting.
Automaker Honda saw a nice bump in profits in the latest quarter. 3.5% increase from a year earlier, and Tokyo-based Honda raked in $1.7 billion from October through December. Stronger demand in the U.S. and Europe partially responsible. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Grace Inviernos.
Grace Inviernos. Oh. There you go. We'll see you, Greg. Have a good one.
There.
Hey, I didn't offer him any Cinnamon Toast Crunch cookies.
Oh, darn.
Would you like a Cinnamon Toast Crunch? They're pretty good. Well, at least she can eat.
She's got her
coffee. Cinnamon Toast Crunch drink. Oh, really?
Nice. Ah.
Nice.
Yeah. Roy's got something really interesting that I didn't even know existed. He's got this canned, it's like an iced latte, and it's Twinkie flavored. Twinkie.
It's a
Hostess
drink,
Twinkie.
right?
No,
Or
it's an iced latte. It's like a canned latte. And apparently, they've got them over at the Dollar Tree.
Yeah. This is like a Snickers
They've got
one?
a Snickers flavor. I'm like, I literally looked at it at first and thought it was just a Twinkie in a can. I was like, is it like a pull tab thing and then you get your Twinkie? How does that work? Is it for like
bat in a can.
special storage? Yeah, exactly. Like, do they have it stored like tennis balls or something?
Maybe. I hope so. Pringles.
That is all. If you want to preserve your Twinkies, tennis ball can. There you go.
Wouldn't it be funny if you open it and it was the tennis ball can, but it's a Twinkie, but it's like sitting in like coffee. So it's like a soaked up coffee Twinkie.
Nice. You know,
I need a Twinkie then.
It's funny. There was a show, and Mike watched it as well back in the day, called Eating History. It was on a few years ago.
I wish
it was only on for one season.
I wish they brought it back. It was a great show.
These dudes like cracked open and ate like severely old food. Like they ate like Civil War hardtack.
Like they'd find Oreos from the 80s and eat them.
And just eat them. There was one, though, that they did that amazed me. They had a sealed can of Pringles from the 1970s. And it's exactly like this. It was like tennis ball can sealed. So you had like pop the top.
It had that,
and the pull ring. And you had to pull the top off.
The same kind that Donald Duck orange juice.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah.
And the big difference, though, was it had inside the can, it had like a cardboard sleeve that was like wavy and like rippled or whatever to like secure the chips in place. Do you remember that?
To keep them from cracking.
From cracking and to keep them fresh. But they were amazed how this 1970s can of Pringles was exactly the same as
It's
today.
literally that they don't make it like they used to, kind of the line there.
You could still
really is that.
safely eat an entire can of Pringles from the 70s.
Yeah.
Well, the cans of the French fry sticks.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They come with the pop lid too.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
God.
still sell them.
Do they still sell them?
Yeah.
I hadn't seen them in years. I
Yeah,
didn't
now
know
they
that.
come in cans like that.
Oh, they're big gelatinous cans. Yeah, I get you. Probably only 3 sticks in there, though.
Doggone shrinkflation.
That was a fun snack as a kid. I love when my mom would bring those home.
Oh yeah.
It never ceases to amaze me the foods you can get in a can. I've yet to find where I can get this and procure this, but they have a whole cheeseburger in a can.
I've seen
like bun toppings.
I've seen it online.
Burger.
I haven't seen it in person.
I am desperate to
It's in
try
like Europe
this.
or something. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is. They have it,
I was
but
gonna
I
say
can't find it online because like I've ordered
Yeah,
weird
Asia
stuff
could do it,
online.
too. Yeah.
You know, I can't find it anywhere online to order. So I'm like, I really want to try this.
Probably for good reason.
I mean, probably, but you know, inquiring minds want to try it once and then forget about it.
Meat in cans is nothing new, but like a whole bun in the thing. There's a condiments on said burger.
It's I think there's like pickles or something. I'm not sure. I've seen a video. It's just basic.
But I'm desperate for a burger you to put in a can and want to eat that.
It's like a survival thing, you know. Like
Yeah,
I
but
love,
dang.
like I'm obsessed with freeze dried foods. Like
There's-
foods you just add a little bit of water and all of a sudden you got a whole meal.
I gotta be honest. There's crap I can forge in the woods. It's gonna taste better than a
don't know.
cheeseburger in a can.
I don't know,
I'm
man.
just
Maybe
sorry.
not. Maybe not.
Something out there.
How do you know if you don't ever try?
Because it's a cheeseburger in a can.
I've enjoyed spotted dick. Have you ever had canned spotted dick?
I am proud to say I have not.
You really should try spotted dick. It's actually delicious.
What is in it?
It's what the Brits call a pudding.
Yeah.
What we would call a cake. It's basically like a pound cake essentially, but it's got like I think raisins and like nuts in it and stuff like that. It's good. I mean, it's delicious.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it
Why is it named that?
because that's what they call it. It's just what they call it.
Yeah, their whole pudding and thing. They say things wrong.
The spotted dick is what is the name of the product.
Yeah,
is.
that's not what I think of when you say that.
I know that's not what you think of.
It makes me think of that muscle.
That's
in
why
the,
it's salacious. Oh, go ahead.
That muscle from the ocean. That
It sounds like seafood to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
sea cucumber.
the sea. Well, I
Oh,
know.
gooey duck.
Oh, gooey duck. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
gooey duck.
Yeah, because it looks like a.
And that's, kids, why you watch Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe. You learn things like gooey duck.
Yes.
Sea cucumber was actually the one that, like, if you remember from the Jackass movie, Steve-O and Chris Pontius, they learned if you jostle the sea cucumber enough, it will
Spray.
emit a white substance, essentially. And they had a lot of fun with that.
Kids, don't watch Jackass.
Speaking of the
Rowe.
sea,
Yeah.
I was to remind you of the cruise.
Yes, I do need to do this real quick. Sorry, because I talked about it yesterday. So my wife and I booked a cruise for June.
Brag.
And first off, I told my boss, and he's like, how many different ways are you trying to get sick?
Exactly.
I was like, I'm not disagreeing with you, but it's kind of, and And I've been on a cruise 3 times in my life. I've been on 2 Carnival cruises, and I've been on a Disney cruise. And
Mike's really a seaman if you think about it. The man of the sea.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, swab the decks, shiver me timbers. But and the Carnival cruises were nice. I enjoyed on the Disney cruise. I enjoyed the amenities on the ship more than the Carnival.
I would imagine more directed towards children, so a lot more food options, a lot more ice cream options.
Yeah, well, and
dessert options.
Yeah, but the one thing too is the Disney thing had a movie theater that was showing like current run. Like at the time I was on the boat, I think one of the Avenger movies was in theaters, and so I saw it on the boat.
That's pretty cool.
While I was in theaters.
That's a pretty cool feature.
That's the power of Disney. And plus the other thing is your in-room entertainment. Or Carnival, you go in there and you have a TV. Now, granted, you don't spend a lot of time in there, but at night when you're tired and you just want to watch some movie or something and go to bed. And Carnival, they had like 6 channels, and one's like the cruise channel, so it's just showing the boat all day. But then there was like 1 or 2 channels that had movies going on. But Disney, no, you get everything Disney owns in your room.
And Disney owns everything.
And they own ABC, so you get all the ABC stuff, you get all the Disney stuff, you get the ESPN stuff, you get all of that in your room on a Disney boat, and that's kind of cool. Now, the only reason I'm bringing this up for this cruise here is because I'm doing Royal Caribbean. I've never done Royal Caribbean before, but there is a feature on the boat that we're going on that's kind of blowing me away.
Okay.
So the trip is we're going to Honduras and then 2 places in Mexico during the cruise. We're going to leave out of Galveston in June. But the ship we're on is called the Harmony of the Seas.
Okay.
And it's one of, like the Royal Caribbean, like you've probably seen commercials. I've seen it ad nauseum on TV lately. The Royal Caribbean has a new ship called like Star of the Sea or something like this, and it's this big, ginormous boat.
Yeah, it's like 4 football fields.
Yeah, and it's got crazy. Well, Harmony of the Sea is one of its lesser ones. That I guess it's one of their flagship ships, but it's not their fanciest, newest one. It's one of their couple year.
Right.
However, this ship has something on it that I've just never thought to be on a ship before. Like it's got the crazy slides. It's got all that. It's got 60 restaurants. It's got all those things. It's amazing. It's a carnival theme park on the sea, basically.
Right.
But this ship has an ice skating rink. I can ice skate on the boat.
See,
they have an ice show on the boat.
Is it an interior ice skating rink?
I'm assuming. Because we're in the Caribbean, so it's kind of hard to do it on the deck.
Not necessarily, because
it's the summer.
Well,
in the Caribbean.
They have a synthetic ice that they have that, yes, you can skate on, that you can play hockey on, you could do all the stuff on that works exactly like ice. It just doesn't melt.
I think it's in the boat. I don't think it's on the decks. I think because I was trying to figure out on the boat where it was, and I think it's lower.
Okay.
And if it's lower, it's in the boat. It's not up on one of the decks.
And then also, if it was on the deck, they don't want people like skating.
That would be pretty
plus, I imagine it's kind of in the middle.
Right.
Because the middle of the boat is less movement. Like pro tip, if you ever get on a cruise and you want to do a cruise, you've never done one before, but you're kind of a little worried about living on a boat for a week, try to pick a room in the middle of the boat, towards the middle, because there's less movement in the middle.
See,
if you pick a room on the ends of the boat, you're going to experience more movement. And you'll notice when you're on the boat, because sometimes like the dining rooms and things are on one end of the other, and you'll be sitting there eating, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa.
Right. And that's the other thing is,
floor's moving.
If you're like an experienced, someone who skates regularly on ice, I would imagine that's a whole new realm of trying to stay balanced, because movement's going to throw you off.
And that's why I'm wondering. I don't know, but I want to do this. This is a bucket. Now that I know this exists, I'm like, I'm going to ice skate in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean or the Gulf of Mexico, wherever.
My ankles are so weak that the idea of even putting on ice skates makes my ankles want to just immediately buckle.
There's the other factor. Now, I played ice hockey. I could skate.
Right.
I haven't done it in 30 years.
Yeah.
There might be some time that I've forgotten a few things. Or is it like riding a bicycle? Like, I think I know the moves, but does the body still, like, am I going to get on there?
Well, because you're going to have to be in like
Kim needs to record this.
Yeah, it could be interesting.
You're going to have to be in kind of a squat.
Yeah.
Can you still do that?
And
notice he didn't answer.
Yes, I can.
Okay,
I'm flexible. I can't do it long, but I can do it.
You overshared.
And I played hockey. I wore
Played.
hockey. I did.
Hockey.
But I wore...
Past tense.
And when I skate, I wore hockey skates.
That's true.
Hockey skates are not the same as figure skates. They're different techniques. You know, a hockey skate has a rockered blade, which means it's beveled. It's the ends are higher than the middle. A figure skating blade is flat all the way across, and it has, if you've seen that stupid Cutting Edge movie, with a little jagged thing on the front of the blade called a toe pick.
Right.
And that toe pick is kind of your stopper. Hockey skates don't have it. You do what's called hockey stop, and you on the side.
Right.
That's how you stop. I skated on figure skates because that's what I initially learned on. But in all my time of skating, I hadn't done figure skates. I was a child. Every other time I skate on hockey skates. So if they don't have hockey skates, that's another. It's different. When you're skating on them, it's a different feel.
Right.
Figure skating actually, if you're just trying to skate around, it's a little hockey skates. Like they're designed for quick turns, tight turns, backwards, or figure skating is more to set you. That's why that toe pick's used to get the spins and the twists and all that. Hockey skates aren't designed for you to do that.
Right. So
and then speed skates are another. I mean, there's other skates.
And there's also the
speed
fact
skates
that
are like
they're
6 miles long.
It's also the fact that they're rental skates. I mean,
that's the other
rental
thing.
skates are not the greatest to ride on. If you've ever seen the movie Just Friends, they can be a bit chippy and
depends on how often they sharpen the blade.
Sure,
that's what it is. The blade sharpening is the key. Like NHL players and stuff, they're sharpening between periods. These guys probably sharpen once a week.
Right.
Just saying. You know, where those blades get sharp, literally, they go in for the period, they take the skates off. Some guys in there going and putting them back on their feet.
I'm just if you do this, please do have Kim record it, and please, if you are capable, do a trick. Like I want to see you skate backwards.
The trick is I'm not falling on my butt.
Right, I want to
That's
see
a
if you
trick.
can like get yourself to skate backwards, or maybe a jump.
Or crossover.
A twirl.
Again, I played hockey. I didn't figure skate. I do pirouettes and stuff.
That's true.
I played hockey. I can hockey stop. I can cross over, skate backwards. Those are my tricks.
Get a stick and take it with you.
And then I could do that.
It's going to be his cane.
To be honest, that would help. I would actually love that because the holding the stick in my hand is a balance thing.
That's true.
I'm a little bit more brave to do things when I have the stick because it's like the Walendas on the high wire. You have the stick and it balances you. The hockey stick kind of does that on skating too. So when I'm skating without the stick, it's a little weird. Like I don't know what to do with my hands.
Take a cane.
Yeah, you know. So.
That would you really want to impress some people. Go out there, get your skates, put some sunglasses on, get a blind man's cane, and go out there and just skate.
I might make some money. You never know. I get a little tin cup.
Hold the tin cup
skating
out.
backwards with the stick, just doing this.
Might make my gambling money. But yeah, so we're gonna be doing that in June, and
nice.
And when I learned there was an ice skating rink on there, I'm just like, no, I would have never fathomed to put an ice skating rink
that is
in the middle of an ocean line
Kim
ship.
needs to record it.
That's an amenity I never would have thought of.
So, in theory, if all things work the way I will cross off the bucket list, figure skating on a boat in the middle of the Caribbean.
Skating on frozen water on top of unfrozen water.
I'm saying that's a pretty good notch in the belt.
That's
awesome.
All right, enough of that. We need to talk about dogs and cats. Crystal Noble is here not to talk about ice skating on the ocean, but to actually talk about dogs and cats from the Humane Society. This is actually her, not Robo, her from earlier, 2 hours earlier. So.
I multitask.
That's right. She's got that little clock from Harry Potter. She can turn time and do all that. All right, it is 9:21. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look nice today. We have high pressure back over the area, sunshine and pretty comfortable daytime highs in the low 60s and a little bit breezy. Low to mid 30s and clear for the overnight hours. We'll have a little bit more cloud cover on Friday, but some sunshine too, and we'll stay in the low 60s. Saturday looks sunny with upper 50s, and then we could get some showers on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, get to my weather. Currently, 48 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 42%. Winds are out of the south at 15 miles per hour. Sunny today. Expect highs in the mid-60s, 64. South winds 5 to 10. Tonight, mostly clear. Overnight low of 33 degrees. Southwest winds at around 10 miles per hour. Sunny for you Friday, 61 for a high tomorrow. West winds 5 to 10. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy. Overnight low of 34 degrees. Southwest winds 5 to 10. Saturday, a little cooler, mostly sunny. High of 58. And winds will be out of the southwest 5 to 10 early. 10 to 15 for the afternoon. And then Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, kind of crappy. Kind of. 20% chance of rain and snow showers before 11, then just rain after 11. Partly cloudy, 46 is the high. So, like if you're doing like Super Bowl cooking out and stuff, you probably want to hang out there, just cook and get back inside. But unless you got like a fireplace or a chimeria or one of those, little community heating source there. Yeah. Like with the place we usually hang out, we kind of are in and out all the time, and so they usually have a couple fire heaters or fireplaces outside. Usually quite pretty nice, but it's their patio. So, so if you do that, kind of just because I know you'll get certain people that they go outside and they just be outside. That's what they do. We're outside. They do all that. So, bundle up. All right, 9:24. We're going to take a quick 3.5-minute break. Then Crystal will join us here from the Humane Society. Don't go away.
Do you feel like time is running out for your to-do list? Don't let wisdom teeth get in your way. Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. Wisdom teeth can cause you pain and a lot of unnecessary downtime. Patients appreciate the ease of wisdom teeth removal while they are comfortable and relaxed in our office. Call us today to schedule your wisdom teeth removal with sedation and let us take the stress out of the situation.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455.
The Calico Cow has moved to a new home. Visit the Calico Cow at their new home, 200 East College, behind Farley's in Roswell. Lots of exciting changes at the new Calico Cow. New LED lighting, an amazing large classroom, plus more space, which means lots of new items and an even bigger selection of fabrics. Come see it for yourself. Want to know how? Come see the Cow. The Calico Cow's new home at 200 East College in Roswell.
Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to Roswell. The market side has lots of new and different items, including new sauces and noodles to enhance your Asian dishes, plus new snacks and more. And the restaurant inside Asian Market has all Nook's favorites from 11 to 5, like wontons, egg drop, rice or noodle soup, crispy calamari, and the best barbecue fried rice in town. Dine in or call ahead for easy pickup. And find Asian Market on Facebook for updates on open times and specials.
Hi, this is Nok. Come see me at Asian Market, 5702 South Main in Roswell. Call 575-840-5309.
At Artesia General Hospital, our board-certified podiatrists are committed to providing personalized care in a welcoming environment. Dr. Jennifer Chow and Dr. Michael Krupa offer the latest surgical techniques and treat a range of conditions including arthritis, bunions, joint care, and more. If you're suffering from foot, ankle, or lower leg pain, we can help. Visit artesiageneral.com/foot care to request an appointment and begin your journey toward happier, healthier feet.
The Artesia Arts Council presents Mr. Ho's Orchestratica, Thursday, February 15th at the Ocotillo Performing Arts Center. Percussionist Brian O'Neill leads a team of 5 musical creators. Mr. Ho's Orchestratica renders O'Neill's original compositions and curious arrangements of Bach, Gershwin, Shostakovich, and John Adams into cinematic layered music for armchair travelers ready to journey off-road. Tickets on sale now at artesiaartscouncil.com. Don't miss Mr. Ho's Orchestratica, Thursday, February 15th at the Ocotillo Performing Arts Center. Ad paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
If you think the only job at a broadcast station is in front of a microphone, you're missing some great opportunities. The broadcasting industry in New Mexico is thriving and offers exciting career opportunities in many areas, including advertising sales, promotions, news, business administration, engineering, and more. Learn about these career opportunities by visiting the New Mexico Broadcasters Virtual Job Fair beginning Monday, February 5th and running through Friday, February 9th at Broadcasters Virtual virtualjobfair.com. This job fair will provide information about jobs available in the broadcast industry, as well as specific positions here at Pecos Valley Broadcasting Company. You'll have the opportunity to apply for great jobs online and begin your career in New Mexico's exciting broadcast industry. Minorities and women are strongly encouraged to visit. Stop by the New Mexico Broadcasters Job Fair, brought to you by Pecos Valley Broadcasting at www.broadcastersvirtualjobfair.com.
The inventor of Pringles is buried in a Pringles can. I wonder if they got their hands stuck putting him in there. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 27 minutes after 9 o'clock. And now officially, Crystal Noble joining us with the Roswell Humane Society. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good. I'm being in two places at once, apparently.
I know. You look pretty relaxed considering you've been all over town already this morning. So.
I know. I'm getting text messages. How are you doing this and doing this?
Magic.
I'm magic.
That's right. Magic.
Magic.
Just that same way Mr.
I have
B.
the Harry Potter spinner.
There you go. Exactly. You got
it's
the
just
time.
in the shape of a heart.
Yeah, her and Hermione can be at two places at once.
Right?
But yes, this is live Crystal, and this time wearing her Humane Society hat.
I'm not robotic right now.
That's right. She's not Robo Crystal.
It's going to be the new name. Hey, Robo.
That's right. Well, if your husband hears this, you know he's going to start doing the references.
Oh, I know. I'm waiting for the text messages
just
to come
tell him
through.
Cease and desist.
I would be back.
But no, Crystal is here to tell us what's going on at the Humane Society, which I know you guys are always got a bevy of animals that are home for. You've never come in here and say we're kind of nothing adoptable right now. It's usually, and even if there's some that aren't ready, there's always a bunch there. They're just newly acquired and are in quarantine, and they're in quarantine for whatever reason, weight or vaccines or whatever they need to be. So. But if you're looking to make a pet a part of your family, Animal Control and the Humane Society are the two first places you should be shopping and looking for your forever friend, or not forever, but your next family member to your home.
Their forever is forever for us.
Forever in your heart, but
yes.
Not forever on Earth, unfortunately. If we could figure out a way to make our dogs live and cats live forever, we would. But we haven't figured that one out yet.
Technology hasn't gone that far yet.
And to be honest, I think we would do it for cats and dogs before people. Like the technology, you know what I mean? Like if we ever get to that where we figure out how to live forever, like, yeah, don't give it to me. Give it to my dog.
And then we're like, wait, who's going to take care of my dog after I'm gone?
Oh, yeah, it's true.
So, yeah. We do have quite a bit of dogs.
Okay.
I only have a couple of kittens, but they are nowhere near big enough for adoption.
They're all young.
And very, very young, small. So at the moment,
a couple weeks on those.
We don't have any available cats.
Okay.
We have cats, just not available
They're
yet.
in quarantine. But if you go to the website, roswellhumane.org, you can see all the kittens that are in quarantine.
Their pictures are on the website.
So if you fall in love with one there, call, ask about it. They'll give you an update on how far along it is before it will be available for adoption. And when that time comes, then as soon as that moment happens, they'll let you know, and you can come down and visit and start the process if you want here. And to be honest, if you really know this is the one, we could probably get some initial paperwork and stuff done. And then so when it does get to a point where when it's out of quarantine, you can come and pick it up and get it spayed or neutered or get it chipped or whatever's next on the list there to get it done. So
they're 1.4 pounds, so they got a whole pound to gain before they can go up. And
guesstimation, what's that usually take for them to gain a pound?
Sometimes kittens, and it's really hit or miss. Sometimes it's 2 to 3 weeks, and then sometimes it's a month or longer.
Okay. It depends on the cat.
It just depends on the cat. So
does breed come into play there? Like certain breeds grow faster than others, or
ironically, it's male versus female.
Okay.
Males tend to grow a lot faster than females.
Okay. Females grow, but they grow out and it's later. Like every one of my cats, they're all females. And maybe it's just me, but after a while, all my cats, the belly gets a little lower and a little wider.
That's with all cats, especially after getting them fixed.
Yeah.
And then they hit a certain maturity age where their hormones aren't eating as much of the calories as it used to.
Yeah.
Same as us.
You get the sway belly.
Yes. But male cats tend to grow faster because they reach a maturity a couple months sooner than a female does.
Okay.
So males reach their breeding maturity at 4 months, as to where a female is 6 to 8 months.
Okay. I think it's kind of opposite in humans. I think women generally start that process
unfortunately,
faster,
yes.
quicker than men do. So,
Unfortunately.
interesting there. So
we have to deal with it a lot longer.
yeah, that's part of growing up, I guess. When the changes hit.
Best advice to kids: don't grow up too fast.
That's right. Stay little.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, I know it. I know you can't wait to get there. But once you're there, you're like, now what do I do? So enjoy it while you can.
Yeah, when you're there, you're like, oh, can I get a refund?
Yeah.
It's not all that it's cracked out to be. Trust me.
It's all the anticipation. To be honest, it's no different when you hit 21 or some of these. You build it up in your head, and then when you actually hit there, like, all right, now what?
You're like, that was it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not. The rose-colored glasses aren't always.
But it is a little bit. The dogs are a little bit on edge right now, and cats.
Okay.
Because we have the roofers there.
Oh, so there's a lot of construction, a lot of noise.
It is noisy. And so I would think that in a typical, like if you were in a house, it wouldn't be so noisy, but we're in a metal building. So
echoes and reverbs and everything else. Yeah.
So when you come in to talk to us, please be expecting us to not purposefully be yelling at you, but
it's kind of the nature
you're
of the
not
environment.
going to be able to hear because they've got a generator running. They're up banging and clashing on the roof. It sounds like we got Clash of the Titans happening up there.
But you're glad it's happening because
Yes.
that roof is long overdue.
Very much overdue.
You guys have been band-aiding it for a long time, so this is something that needs to get done. This is the cost of doing business right now. So.
And if you would kindly like to help donate towards the cost of this, it is a very, very expensive
Absolutely.
job to be done.
And
And that's even with the roofer company like discounting
Sure,
stuff for us.
they hook you guys up with
They did
the
a
friends
very
and
nice
neighbors
job
discount. Yeah.
to help us the best that they can to where they're not, they're still able to pay
Sure.
their employees
They
for
got
doing
to
the
eat
job.
too. Yeah, absolutely.
So we would appreciate any and all donations to help go towards the roofing fund. If you want to mail in a check, just put a note that says for the roof. You can go to the PayPal button on our webpage and click on the donate. And there's a little section that you can click on there where you can add a note and you can put for the roof. Just because we want to know specifically this is what's going for the roof versus general donations, which goes towards maintaining the shelter. In which, yes, the roof is maintaining the shelter, but they want that money sooner than, we
Absolutely.
can
Yeah,
do
if you'd
other
like
things.
to, like you said, make a check or make a donate now donation there, you can do that. But please, don't stop donating too on the other side. If you've got clothing and furniture and stuff that's still good and has a good life, donate that to the thrift store because all of that turns around and pays for vet bills, it pays for litter and food and cleaning supplies and everything that it takes to basically run the Humane Society day to day. When you have all them animals in there, that's a lot of mouths to feed. That's a lot of litter to change. That's a lot of beds to clean and things to clean and stuff like that. So when you come and shop and buy the clothing and buy the coffee pots and the artwork and all the things that you'll find in the thrift store, books, periodicals, kids' books. Put it this way, if you're trying to get books for your kid, don't go to a news store for books.
No, they've got a whole little area just for kids.
Absolutely. You could literally buy the entire child's library and spend like $10 and have all the books they need for their entire pretty much adolescence. You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
And kids are kids. Kids are going to destroy things. So don't waste your money buying these brand new books when you can get the same. And let's face it, a lot of kids' books are classics. Your Harold and your Purple Crayon, your Dr. Seuss's. Those are timeless. They're there, and we all have them growing up. Don't buy them brand new. Let someone else who already paid for them brand new. They're perfectly good books. And guess what? If your kid draws in it or tears it up because they're kids, no loss. You paid $1 for it.
Exactly.
It's no big deal. So,
speaking of their store, they do have some Valentine's Day stuff left.
Okay.
So they're ready for that, which that's next week, ain't it? Yeah.
It's the 14th, like next Wednesday. So
yeah. Okay. They have Easter stuff out early because they've got a lot of Easter stuff. So they wanted to get it out early so people could get, what they need.
Again, another thing, don't waste your money buying brand new baskets and grass and all that kind of stuff.
The majority of the stuff they have are ones with tags on them.
Brand new
people
already.
Bought them and decided not to use them or chose something different and then donated them. Or they used them as like a centerpiece decoration and then that was that. So
I have learned in my 20 plus years of marriage that baskets can be like purses, where they buy them because the way they look and have no use or need for them, but they just like the look of the baskets. And they, in their head, they're going to think that they can do something with said baskets, and they never do. They sit in a closet, just a bunch of baskets. Am I hitting close to home here, Crystal?
No, because I have 2 baskets, but they're for like when I go out to the, like when I have a garden, and when I go to the garden, you know, it's the wicker baskets to harvest and put the fruit, whatever in.
Right.
Well, I'm laughing because there's one basket that's not really purposeful for that. It was pretty, and so I bought it at the thrift store. Both of them came from the thrift store, okay?
Right.
So... and I'm laughing because I'm looking at the, like, in my head, I'm seeing my kitchen and the top of my refrigerator because that's where these 2 baskets sit. And the one that is non-purposeful is actually, like, Thanksgiving time, I put it on the center of the table and then I put, like, little decorations in it.
It's your centerpiece.
But it sits on top of the refrigerator the rest of the year, and I'm like, wow, I am that person.
And
but I only have 2.
Right. And I think every household probably, if not similar, very close to something like that too. It's just, we all have those things.
That's funny. I'm like, oh, wow.
But yeah, so if you have a basket hoarder, give up some and donate to the Humane Society. But if you need some for Easter, don't buy new ones. Just go there.
They have a lot of them, and then they have the
cheap.
grass in a bag.
Yeah.
They've got the plastic Easter eggs still in a bag, so you can stuff them yourself.
And you're gonna throw away the half that stuff when you're done anyway.
Right.
So yeah.
And then so school time. So it's coming up time for dances. Prom, homecoming. No, homecoming's already happened.
Yeah.
So you got your spring dance,
Yeah,
Valentine's
so if you got
dance.
your prom dance or dresses
So
or quinceanera dresses,
they have
things like that.
a lot of girls' formal dresses.
Okay. So
very, very beautiful. Worn once.
And we're getting in the spring season, like you said, proms and stuff. But also, this is a time when the quinceañeras and all those kind of things start back up when the weather gets nicer. So if you need a quinceañera dress or a, like you said, a prom dress or something, any nice clothes for the fellas there?
So
Suits,
they do.
Okay.
They do. They have a couple of suits. The majority of the clothes that get donated, obviously, are women's because, you know, a girl's going to wear it once and be like, I'm not going to ever wear that again.
We either outgrow it or destroy it. That's what men do. We either put holes in it or exceed the weight capacities of the bands and things.
Or your wife gets a hold of your clothes in your closet and says, this has got to go, that's got to go, that's got to go.
That's my favorite Crystal Gale t-shirt.
But clothes-wise, they have, like, all seasons clothes. They have it out right now because our weather is all seasons.
Yes.
So 1 minute in the morning, we're cold. By noon, we're warm. By the afternoon, we're kind of breezy.
When you can wear all the same things.
We can.
You got the long sleeve in the morning. By the afternoon, you're wearing your t-shirt.
Yes. So they have all season clothes out right now. So if you need spring, summer, winter, fall, whatever you need, come down.
That's right, because we have all seasons in one day.
We do. Mother Nature set her beer down and said, let me go.
That's right. Hey, today's going to be winter, but like by 3, it'll be 80. So, yeah.
Yeah. She's like, let me play with New Mexico a little bit.
Yeah.
Mostly just Roswell.
That's right. Southeast New Mexico, particularly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Curtains, if you want to make some changes in your house and you don't know what changes you want and you want to start by simply doing curtains, they have a lot of curtains.
And I know, because I've watched enough of those home improvement shows and fashion shows, if you're trying to remodel on a budget, that's stuff you can do pennies on the dollar.
Yes.
And it changes your look. So you could literally go in there, get new curtains, probably spent under $20, and you got a whole new look for your room. So pretty good.
If you need bed frames, like if you have a toddler that is growing up and deciding that they're going to be set in a full-size bed, they have 3 twin bed frames.
Okay.
And they have a brand new bunk bed frame in a box.
Nice.
Not even open.
So brand new, just
brand new.
Get your own Allen head wrenches and stuff to put it together, and then procure some mattresses, and you got a brand new bunk bed for your kids there.
And then for all the cat lovers out there, they have a catching scrap post.
Okay.
It's like a kitty condo. This thing's huge.
Oh, a big one. So you got to have some little space.
Yes. It's taller than me, which that doesn't say much because I'm not very tall. But and it's probably about maybe 3 foot wide.
Okay.
Or so.
Probably about 5.5 feet tall, something like that. Okay.
Roundabout. And then it's about 1.5 feet deep.
Okay.
But it's got a bunch of little condo hideouts.
So it'd be good for multiple cats.
Yes.
If you got multiple cats. And like you said, it's like a 3x5, so it will take up some acreage in whatever room you put it in. But if you do have, and and this is something I know as a person that's owned cats for quite a while.
They're not cheap to buy brand new.
They're not, but they're good to have because those are the kind of things that cats love to engage in. They
Mhm.
love, they always say if you're a cat owner, create shelving and create high up places for your cat to hang out. These are and so those cat condos serve those very well. That's why you always find your cats hanging out in the back of your chairs and your couches or up on the top of your bookshelf or refrigerator.
Because they like to be in high places.
That's where they like, so create those spots for them in your cat. I know, especially if you don't, there's certain ones you don't want to get into. Like, I don't want my cat on the top of the refrigerator, so I have other places for the cat to hang out.
Right. And then also this Saturday, they're going to do a sale. So they have a dry erase board that's inside the thrift store. When you walk in and you look to the left, it's right above the baskets of clothing. And then they also have an easel one like this.
Okay.
That they set outside the front door that they write the day,
And that's
sell of the day
all
on.
the specials and everything.
That is. So this Saturday, depending on what's going on, depends on what Sal Camille will do. But she said they're going to do something big this Saturday, a pre-Valentine's Day sale.
All right.
So come shop. It's going to be
shop.
listed on the outside and then on the inside.
Good deal. And I'm telling you, you'll be amazed at what you find at these things. Like if you're looking for small appliances like coffee pots or
They got
the Keurigs or
Toaster ovens.
or toaster ovens or little air fryers, things like that. Those things are always on the shelves at the thrift store here. If you're looking for books and clothing and things like that, there's always a huge selection of those kind of things. Decor.
Miscellaneous
tchotchkes. Yeah,
stuff.
tchotchkes and knickknacks. If you're a collector of Hummels, those types of collectible type things, always you should be in there once a week checking back because be part of the Wednesday group. When the New Stuff Wednesday group comes at 10 a.m. on Wednesdays, be a part of that because that's when the new stuff comes up. So if there's like those collectible type things, that's what they're looking for is the rare book, the rare figurine that people are coveting. So you'll find them there from time to time. Just got to look.
They also have a display case where they keep jewelry at.
Okay.
And so a lot of the times, if it's more of a higher priced item, they'll keep it in the display case.
Someplace we can't get stolen or shoplifted.
But if you want to look at it, you just ask one of the guys there, hey, can I look
They'll
at
take
that?
it out, let you look at it, just like a jewelry store.
Pretty much, I'll stand behind the counter and say little Matt.
Well,
No,
they
I don't
model
think
it for you.
They
Here you go.
they don't lay a mat out. I don't think Manny does all that.
Should
or
have
Amanda.
the velvet. We'll work on that.
Oh.
Maybe we get her Crown Royal bag. That would be just perfect. Actually, that would be perfect. Put a Crown Royal bag.
Oh my God. Okay, so Crown Royal, and then the jewelry here, and then you have the 6'5" guy showing it to you. Perfect.
That says, yeah, I like it.
But I need to do a PSA for Roswell Seed really quickly because we forgot something on Monday.
On Monday, okay.
My husband's being a jerk. Bees.
Bees.
It is now the time to order bees.
Order your bees.
Yes.
When do they come?
April.
So
we
order now.
are picking them up April 11th or 12th, and then we'll be back. If we go on the 11th, we'll be back on the 12th. If we go on the 12th, we'll be back on the...
Okay.
Sorry, correction. If we pick them up, we'll be back either the 12th or the 13th.
Okay. So if you are a beekeeper looking to do honey, or maybe you want to get into this as a hobby or a
if you have
passion.
questions, and you want to know what am I getting myself into, call down to Roswell Seed.
Yep.
They can explain to you. If you have questions, you can even call me at the Humane Society.
You and your husband have been doing it for a few years now. They've been you guys have been doing the bees, and I've had some of the fruits of that labor, and it's very good. So
and even my home concoctions.
But if you want to do that, now is the time to get your orders in. Is there a drop dead deadline that?
Yes. We have to have the complete orders into the place where we get them from, I believe, by the 30th or 29th of March.
Okay, so you got about a month here to get a month and a half to get it done here.
Because they got to have time preparation to make sure that they have enough to fill the order.
Sure.
Because not only when we go to pick them up, the company that we get them from, they have other people that order from them directly, and they just come and pick them up from Roswell Seed. So we are
kind of like a satellite office for them.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But normally we hand out bees on the Saturday after we pick them up. Hopefully it doesn't change this year. So if we pick up, it'll be April 12th and then back April 13th.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, the end of March is the dedeadline.
So you put your order in now, and then you got roughly a month and a half to get your bee environment set up.
Yes, get your bee house, get your hive, get it set up, get it painted, and that way, when you get the bees, all you have to do is put the bees in the hive. Good to go.
Set and forget.
Kinda.
Well, not forget.
Well, kinda, but
till the next time
you don't want to have to paint the hive after you get the bees.
Gotcha.
Because you want it nice and dry and everything.
I would have said the smell and everything might create a little bit of a problem there with.
And they're going to be stressed out from being put into a box, transported all the way from East Texas all the way to Roswell.
Yeah.
And from Eden to hell.
Yeah, they're going to be a little salty, a little bit agitated.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that everything's nice and ready for them. But if you're interested...
How long does it kind of take them generally to kind of adapt to the home and make it their own? Is it right away, or does it usually take a couple days or weeks?
Well, so they have to, like the queen. And so they put a queen in there with a couple of worker bees with the queen. And then as the bees accept her, if they accept her, then everybody goes to work.
Then it's gangbusters.
There you
so
go.
really the crux is if the queen's accepted, it's pretty seamless.
Right.
If
And
they
the
don't
bees
like the
will,
queen, then you got problems.
they'll start working, but they won't start making comb for like brood. So the queen is what lays the eggs, and then the drone bees go in and basically make babies.
To do that.
So
like, say you do come across, and I'm just curious now, if you have a queen that's not liked, what do you replace, the queen or the rest of the bees?
you replace the queen.
Okay.
So you order a new queen from Navasota Bee Weaver, and they will overnight it, and then she comes in a little case, and then she's got her worker bees with her, and you put her in the hive.
Okay.
And then if they accept her, there's a little candy cake thing inside there, and they'll eat the cake to get her out, so that way she can be around. And then sometimes it's a little thicker, and so you have to release her yourself. But if there's a cluster of bees around the little bee box, the queen box, then they accept her. If there's no bees around her, they don't like her.
Okay. They don't kill her. They just don't.
Sometimes they will.
They could. Okay. That's what I was wondering. Does it get like Lord of the Flies on us here?
It does.
Yeah. So what happens here? But that being said, now's the time to do all that kind of stuff. So if you're looking to do the bee, I think it'd be fun if you got the space and time to do that. I can't do it in my neighborhood. They throw me out quick. But
My husband's, I got about 14 text messages right now.
Yeah?
Because he's listening.
Well, that's good.
But yeah, if you want to order bees or want to know about bees and all of that fun stuff,
Come by Roswell
bee
Steve.
season.
Yep. Come by and of course.
And since we're going to be early spring, if you already have beehives, you might want to start getting them prepped for early harvest. Get some supers thrown out on there. If you need supplies for supers, call down there. I believe John's going to get a data order in soon, so that way they have all supplies in for the bees.
Good deal. And of course, ask the questions. If you're like, how many do I ordered for how many hive? They can tell you all that, like what's your ratio, based on your hive or what you're trying to design here. They can tell you, okay, how many orders of bees that will hold, kind of thing. So.
Exactly.
Getting back to Humane Society.
Yes.
I know we talked about the sale this weekend.
Yes.
No cats. They have cats, but they're in quarantine. So go to roswellhumane.org if you're looking there. Got lots of dogs, of course. All sizes, I'm guessing. Little ones, big ones, and kind of medium ones there. So.
From small to big.
Good deal. So whatever you're looking for, and I say every time when you're going there, and like you said earlier, because of the roof being worked on,
it is going to be noisy, and the dogs are going to be a little bit more
fidgety
distraught than normal.
Yeah, stressed, and probably seeing a lot of panting, circling, barking, being uneasy. Always remember you're seeing the pets at their worst because they're in jail, in essence, basically. And so if you were in that, you'd be that way too. So please, when you come and you see a dog that you love, go take it to the meet and greet room. Let the personality come to you. And don't forget the older big dogs too. The ones
and we have a couple of them that are older, but they're not like old.
Right. But they're not the puppies that everybody wants.
And they're out of their chewing stage.
Yeah.
They're
mature
housebroken.
dogs. They're probably 5, 6, where they still probably got a good 8, 10 years in them, but they don't have some of the puppy in them anymore. They're not running around chewing things and doing what puppies do.
They're being dogs.
Yeah, they're being companions.
They are.
So don't forget those dogs, because those dogs are probably have the best personalities, and unfortunately, most families walk right by them.
They do, and don't forget the darker colored dogs. Even though we have good lighting in there, darker colored dogs will tend to get overlooked because they're dark, and so don't overlook them, because the majority of the time, those are the dogs that have the best personality.
My sissy was a black lab, mixed lab, but mostly black. Sweetest dog, smartest dog I think I've ever had. She was a beauty. So all my dogs were awesome, but she was the most recent one. So kind of near and dear.
She was the one before the kitties.
Yes. Well, she was with the kitties because I had Lucy and her. That was we had a cat and a dog, Lucy and Sissy. And then we lost Lucy. And then we got Hannah. And it was Hannah and Sissy. And then we lost Sissy and we got Bella. Now it's Bella and Hannah, the two cats. So Hannah, my oldest cat, her and Sissy were buddies for a little bit. For a couple of years till we lost Sissy. And then she tolerates Bella.
She's like,
I know they love each other because I've seen them like nosing each other and stuff and hiding. But in public, they act like they hate each other.
She's like, you peasant.
Right, but secretly they like each other. but please, yeah, come and do that, and come out and shop this weekend. Come out to the thrift store. Save yourself money. Like if you're on a budget, we all are. You know, we live in a world where everything costs 10 times more than it used to. Yeah, money's strapped. So don't spend big time money. Go to the thrift store, help out the animals, and save you money at the same time. So please shop there early and often, and don't forget to donate too. If you got extra food, you got extra litter, if you've got money to
even if
donate.
the bags are open, and you know that it hasn't come in contact with anything, yes, we will take it.
You were in charge of it the whole time. And then please don't forget, if you go out buying litter special, cheapo litter, the
cheap clay cat litter, you can get it at the Dollar Tree.
Yeah,
You can get a 50-pound bag of it at Sam's for like $5-6 bucks.
Don't waste your time with the clumping litter or the highfalutin litters that can tell you what your cat ate for breakfast or whatever they got now.
However, those have come to help us in the past.
I'm gonna say they're handy.
They are handy, but it's not a requirement.
It's not useful for.
We actually only use that cat litter if we have a specific need, like if we're seeing an issue with the cat.
Gotcha.
Then we use the highfalutin cat litter.
They can tell
Other
what's
than
going
that, we just use plain clay cat litter.
Sure. Yeah, because they for sanitation reasons they throw the entire. They basically use like your old Coca-Cola boxes.
Yes.
As litter boxes, and so they throw those out entirely when they're done. So
Yep.
They don't refill plastic tubs or anything.
The only time we use plastic tubs is if it's a male cat that is spraying and he will not use the litter box because it's not high enough.
Gotcha.
But for everything else, we use just the cardboard flats. Quality, variety, and Farmers on Hobbs save us the boxes, and we go pick them up, and that's what we use.
Nice. Well, thank you for them for doing that for all these years and continuing to do that.
Yes.
So, and if you go to RoswellHumane.org, don't also forget if you'd like to be a member of the Humane Society.
Yes, this is member renewal, and I'm waiting for our newsletters to get finished from printing so we can get them in the mail. They are late, but with the roof kind of pushed us back a little bit because we were trying to get that settled and situated first.
Well, you wanted to make sure you get good updated information, so you want to get that roof stuff in there before it went to print. So
once it's done at the printers, then it will be getting in the mail, and the renewal forms will be on the back of that. And then there's also going to be a section if you want to contribute towards the cost of the roof and helping us in that manner. There's going to be a section on there for you to fill out for that too.
Yep. And think about it. If you have a family member in your home that you love to death, and it came from that Humane Society, and you got a few extra bones to donate to that. So that way, the next time you're ready for a new family member or the next generation
we'll
of
still
people,
have a roof over our head.
Have a roof over your head. And so please think that way. And or I would even offer, a lot of people like do their birthdays and things. Instead of my birthday, donate here. Set up something on Facebook or something to donate to the Humane Society. Do that. That'd be a great thing to go to the roof. If you could do that, get your buddies to give you a couple $100 to do that. That would be awesome.
That would help tremendously.
Yeah, good deal. Did we get everything?
I think we did.
Good deal. Do the hours for the
thrift store is Wednesday through Saturday, 10 to 4:30, and then the kennels are Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 12, and then we go to lunch from 12 to 1, and then we're back 1 to 4:30.
That's right. And don't forget at the thrift store, Wednesday's new stuff day. They put because they're closed Monday and Tuesday there. That's when they're re-inventorying, resupplying, getting it ready. And then Wednesdays when the new stuff gets there. So that's why there's always, when they open at 10 a.m., there's the 10 o'clock club that hangs out right there, and they come on in.
They are.
And they would.
They're the breakfast club.
Come be a part now. Come nice. Don't come in there like because they're established and they've got their hierarchy. They've got their thing. So you just can't come gangbusters in there busting up their clique. You got to go in there. Maybe offer coffee or
that's
maybe,
what I said. Take them some coffee.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, can I come hang out with you guys?
Come with an olive branch and hang out, and then they might even let you cut line. You never know. But
you bring some donuts and some coffee on a cold morning. I'm sure they're gonna let you in.
Yeah, come in with honey instead of vinegar. You're gonna have a lot more success. Trust me.
Yep.
Very good. Well, thank you, Crystal.
Thank you.
We'll see you here next time.
Yes, sir.
All right, 9:57. Let's get you in the news here and weather before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
Now, your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Sorello. Artesia police are asking for some help in identifying the people who vandalized the softball fields at J.C. Park. The crime happened last week in the southwest corner of the park. Officers were sent about 7 p.m. Wednesday to the John R. Gray Girls Fast Pitch Complex, where the incoming players discovered the damage. The police report says locks were cut on the restrooms and the concession stand doors, the upper office door, and a couple of storage sheds as well. Damage was done to the foul ball netting and brickwork of the outer wall of the concession stand. If you know who did this, please call Artesia Police. A bill that would reduce personal income taxes across the earnings spectrum and collect more taxes on investment income has passed the Democrat-led New Mexico State House. The broad package of tax changes won House endorsement Wednesday on a 48-21 vote. It now moves to the Senate for consideration. State government would forego about $105 million each year overall through adjustments to personal income tax rates and brackets while collecting more taxes on investment income. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look nice today. We have high pressure back over the area, sunshine, and pretty comfortable daytime highs in the low 60s and a little bit breezy. Low to mid 30s and clear for the overnight hours. We'll have a little bit more cloud cover on Friday, but some sunshine too, and we'll stay in the low 60s. Saturday looks sunny with upper 50s, and then we could get some showers on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Roswell's home for talk radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
And that's going to do it for us. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of your day. Have an amazing day. We'll talk to you bright and early tomorrow.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. The Supreme Court is hearing arguments about whether Donald Trump can be kept off the 2024 presidential ballot. White House correspondent Greg Clugston with that report.
Trump is appealing a Colorado Supreme Court ruling that he should not be on the Republican primary ballot. The state court declared him ineligible because he violated a provision in the 14th Amendment preventing those who engaged in insurrection from holding office. Today's arguments will be historic as the nation's highest court will consider for the first time the meaning and reach of the Constitution's insurrection clause. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Also at townhall.com, President Biden mourning the loss of 5 Marines in a helicopter crash in California. The 5 were killed when their helicopter went down late Tuesday night during stormy weather in the mountains outside of San Diego. They were on a routine training mission. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken has left the Middle East. That's after a snub by Israel rejecting the latest proposed Gaza ceasefire plan. More from correspondent Karen Chamas.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken has wrapped up his most recent Middle East trip after getting a virtual slap in the face from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Netanyahu dismissed a proposed ceasefire deal from Hamas and said Israel's offensive in Gaza would continue until Israel is completely victorious. Blinken returns to Washington with divisions between the United States and Israel at perhaps their worst level since Israel's war against Hamas in Gaza began in October. I'm Karen Chamas.
And on Wall Street, stocks are mixed as evidence keeps piling up to show the job market remains remarkably solid. The Dow is down 99 points, but the NASDAQ is now up 41 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-727-9105. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105.
A couple of planes got a bit too close for comfort this morning at Boston's Logan Airport.
It's being described as a minor collision on the ground. One JetBlue plane's wingtip touched another plane's tail. Both Airbus 321 jets were in the airport's de-icing area at the time. No one was hurt, and passengers on flights 777 and 551 were transferred to other aircraft. JetBlue says it flights to Las Vegas and Orlando will operate on other aircraft while these two planes are repaired. Rich Thomason reporting.
More Republican state lawmakers getting behind the idea of using taxpayer money to subsidize child care. The pandemic became a turning point by underscoring how precarious that industry is and how many working parents rely on it. Republican lawmakers are embracing plans to support child care as a workforce issue. Breaking news at townhall.com. Are you excited about Sunday's Super Bowl? When you poll, a lot of Americans are, even if it's not the game itself.
4 in 10 adults who answered the survey by the Associated Press and the Newark Center for Public Affairs Research say they're extremely or very excited for at least one part of the Super Bowl day's festivities, whether it's the game on CBS, the commercials, the halftime show, or Animal Planet's Puppy Bowl. A quarter of U.S. adults say they're excited for the actual game, but the poll was conducted before the Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers were cemented to appear in this year's Super Bowl in Las Vegas. I'm Donna Warder.
Nick Saban is joining ESPN's College Game Day, the long-running Saturday pregame roadshow that he appeared on as a guest so frequently during his 17th season as head coach of Alabama.